Yeah, you're live. I just got a notification. Yeah, it is. It is. There is audio. Yeah, it is. It is. There is audio. Oh,
No,
that was actually feedback. That was
that was
feedback from
feedback from
YouTube.
YouTube.
No, your
No,
audio
your
is not
audio is
coming
not
through.
coming through.
Okay, I think it is now. What about now? Check it now.
No, that was actually feedback.
That was
That was
feedback from
feedback
YouTube.
from YouTube.
No, your
No,
audio
your
is not
audio
coming
is
through.
not coming through.
Okay, I think it is now. What about now? Check it now.
All
All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right, you can mute it up, bro.
No, your
No,
audio
your
is not
audio
coming
is
through.
not coming
Okay,
through.
I think it is now. What about now? Check it now. All right,
All
we're good.
right,
We're good. We're good. All right, you can mute it up, bro. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right, you can mute it up. Are we gonna stop this? All right, that's a lot. What is happening right now? This is crazy. Is this working? All right, that's
That's a lot.
What is happening right now?
Is it Adon's audio? Because it's Adon is still sharing computer sound.
Oh, that
Is
must
it
be
Adon's
it.
fault?
You're good. Because I muted myself. I thought it was that.
Edon, why are you
Sorry.
over here breaking a system, bro? Why you like don't break it?
How do I
How do I
stop
stop
sharing?
sharing?
No, you did. I did it. I fixed it for you. All right, we're officially good. So people can hear me on the YouTube. Okay, perfect. I think we're officially. Hold on. All right, bet we're official. That was a lot. Okay, Ed, run your question by me one more time, bro, so I can make sure I'm answering it accurately.
Yeah, I just want to know what the origins of that.
Oh yeah.
Personality
So
types is.
let's go all the way to the beginning, right? So officially, I think one of the first documented versions that we follow of reading personality types goes all the way back to Roman times with the old Roman philosophers. That's where you get personality types like sanguine, and those types of personality types. That was one of the original core foundations of studied personality differences and categorizations that we respect and acknowledge today, to the extent that those personality types are often used and referenced. There's choleric, there's sanguine, there's phlegmatic, there's just a handful that go through that category. However, historically, we actually know that there are ancient cultures who actually built their entire societies around personality types. This is something a lot of people don't realize. This is one of the things that really excites me about this, because there are ancient cultures who literally, when a child was born and was growing up, they would do things like look at the shape of their hand, look at the shape of their face, look at the way their body was structured, and they would take that and they would basically dissect that biology and say, based on your biology, you share this personality type. This is going to be what you're more likely acclimated to, and this is what you're going to be doing in the community. This is the role you're going to play in our society, right? That's where there are cultures who did this successfully. Their societies thrived because of this organization. But obviously, things like this evolve and change. You get the Greeks, you get all of these different people, I think Socrates and these different philosophers who were really big proponents of this. This is where you get the foundations. Fast forward, coming into the personal development phase, you see a resurgence of this in popular use. This is where you get like disc profiles. Are you familiar with disc profiling?
Yeah, I think I have this profile.
So DISC was a profiling process that was created by a couple of ladies, and it became extremely standardized. A lot of major corporations use DISC profiling in their hiring processes. There are probably another 100 personality profile assessments that exist out there. The colors is just one of them. Colors ain't something special. Colors ain't something that's mind blowing necessarily. No disrespect to the colors process. There was a guy who wrote a book. It's called Surrounded by Idiots. And in that book, through necessity, they created a personality profile. And the way they did it was by using colors. I started reading that book just for this community. I've actually talked about it. I have not finished the book. When I found myself is critiquing the guy's process more than anything else. And I just mean this respectfully, just because for me, I've kind of always done this. This is something I kind of was just inherently always knew how to do. My journey is I know how to do this. How do I understand why I know what I know and learn how to make this teachable? And this is what the journey that I'm on, one of the things that I want to bring for the community. So I say all that to say this: the colors thing isn't revolutionary, right? It's not revolutionary. It's just another process that exists. DISC exists. All these other ones exist. What's my issue with DISC? DISC is confusing. Most people take a DISC and have no clue what it means and do not remember any of the things that they learned from there because it's so detailed. Colors, too rudimentary. It's not universally applicable. And it's so rudimentary that it's not accurate because it doesn't factor in for nuance. Because even if you take, first of all, it's not just 4 color personality types. There's nuance to that. And so when you're not factoring in the nuance, what you're doing is you're giving yourself a guideline because it feels good to have a guideline, but then you're just giving yourself through your guideline a huge window to be completely wrong because you're trusting in a process that's incomplete. So in summary, there's a lot of them out there, bro. The reason why I want to recreate one for this community is because I just want to create something that I think is most appropriate based on my opinion and based on my experiences. And people may agree or disagree with that. I also want to create one that's most appropriate for what we do, because understanding these things is only as helpful as you're able to use that understanding to be functional in your life or in your business. So that's why I'm going down this road. And that's why you'll hear me reference it a lot. I actually don't really love the color thing. What I like about the color thing is 2 things. One, they're colors. Everybody knows colors. Colors are simple to remember. It's a lot more easy to remember what a color means than what choleric means. Number 2, it became popular in real estate, just like the Sandler process became popular in real estate. And I think because people are in real estate and they've never heard of this before, they assume that the one that they've heard of is the best one, but that's not necessarily true, right? It's just one that's used. So that's kind of my reasoning behind that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Like first time I heard of it, I think I was one of those morning daily gals and Chef Smith had dropped one of those things in the chart in the chat. I know he referenced it a few times here, so I was like wondering, like, where does that come from?
Yeah, that's it. Jeff probably heard somebody else in the Daily Dial use it, and he liked it, and he learned from it, and so he started just resharing something that he had learned, just like all of us do, right? Like that's just kind of how that works. Yeah, but the book is called Surrounded by Idiots. If you want to read the book, it's a decent frame of reference. I just want to come up with a better one. If I find a really, really good one, I actually have a list of ones that I want to take myself. So when we get to that season, probably next year, I really want to go through all of them. If I find one that's really, really good that I think is encompassing enough to be functional for what we're doing, I may just use that, right? If I find one that's better, because creating one's going to be really, really tough. I just want to do the right thing. I want it to be the right thing. So I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be really cool. But I promise you this is really the meat and potatoes of what we do here, right? You learn this, you could take this anywhere. Good talk. All right. So for those of you who are just watching on YouTube, we've been talking about personality types. The way this started is Ed was asking a question because we listened to one of Edon's phone calls, and I asked him what the profile was, and Ed did not know what I meant by profile. So for those of you guys who are watching, what I meant was there's a difference between fact finding and profile building. And when we're having seller conversations, we're doing seller calls. Most of us are focused on fact finding, not profile building. And I would argue that profile building is as important, if not much more important, than fact finding, because knowing what the person is telling me matters, but knowing who the person is matters more. Because when I know who you are, I know not only what you're telling me, but I also know what you're not telling me. And that's powerful. When you can learn how to listen to what a person's not telling you, you're going to close way more deals, because I would argue that what a person's not telling you is usually greater than what they are telling you. And when you can learn to navigate that, that's how you separate yourself from other people. You find the real motivations that's not being told, and you actually get closer to closing deals. So it'll be super dope. That being said, Edon, is that helpful for you?
100%. Very helpful, very inspiring as well. And Yeah,
motivates me
to work a
work a
lot
lot
more.
more.
Awesome, bro. Okay, so let me ask you this, Doug. What is you want to try this lady? Why don't you call her real quick? Well, you're mobile right now, so I don't know if you can.
I
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not
on
on
my
my
mobile.
mobile.
You're just walking with your laptop. What time is it?
Trying down. My voice is okay. Call centers.
Bro, your voice is saucy. Saucy,
Yeah,
saucy.
Mm.
You need to not don't sound too flirtatious, bro. You're married.
I was
I
cheering
was cheering too much in role plays today.
Nice. You got your bedtime voice.
Gianmarco.
Gianmarco Alessandri.
Yeah, exactly.
He out here with a fresh cut, man. He just closes better. You close better when you got a fresh cut. It's just the way it is.
So,
any
any
advice
advice
on how should I approach
it?
like this person?
Now, this is gonna be. I really just want to. You were doing good enough on the call that I don't think you need to change that much. I think you really just need to make sure that you're digging in to find out what really happened. Understand you got to dig more with this lady. You're really gonna have to press to get the true information about what's going on. She may not answer, but I'll just keep your eye on the chat, and if I notice anything, I'll make sure that I toss it in the comments.
Gotcha. Thank you. So let me try. I hope she answers because I've been trying every day for the past 2 weeks.
Do you have a number? Well, try it, but then if that doesn't work, do you have another number you could call her from?
Yeah. Another
Three.
three.
All right, bet.
Wait, did
Let's
you
go.
get her off yet, or not even?
Nah, he just did a preliminary call.
Well, she's terrible at gathering information. She didn't
You
even
didn't
get
get
the
the
number.
number.
It's a weird.
It's a weird property. I didn't get
It's hard to
hard to understand during the conversation.
Close. Was that straight to voicemail?
No,
No,
Zoom mutes the dialing tone. Oh, she just texted me. Please leave a message. I'm still at work.
Um,
Okay.
we can follow up here in a little bit, maybe see if that works.
Okay, what
What'd you
did you
say?
say?
So we can we can follow up in a little bit, see if that works, or you can text her. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no,
I'll text
text
her.
her.
I bet.
So we're
Peter, what up, bro? I was about to come for you, Peter. I was literally about to be like, yo, I almost DM'd you today and told you to get your ass in here.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
appreciate
appreciate
the
the
love.
love.
I've
I've
been
been
distracted, but in a
but
good
in a
way.
good way.
I've
But
been
I've been
distracted.
distracted.
Today was my first day. I
I
quit my
quit my
W-2
W2
last
last
Tuesday,
Tuesday,
and I'm like,
and I'm
dude,
like, dude, I'm ready to go full
self-employed.
self-employed.
And then
And
the
then the
elevator
elevator
union called me
yesterday and was like,
"You
"You ready to start tomorrow?"
I'm like,
I'm like,
of
"Of course I'm
ready.
ready.
I've been ready
I've been ready for 3
years.
years."
And so I
So I
started this morning.
So
So
like
the
last
last week
week has been interesting.
Trying to open
Trying
up
to open
bank accounts,
getting
getting
denied
denied
for some reason.
because Bank
Because
of
Bank of
America
America
sucks.
sucks.
And
Just trying to figure that out.
What the hell is an elevator union?
They make
They make
Otis
Otis
elevator
elevator be working for.
they make the elevators like when you go into a building, couples like skyscrapers, whatever. That elevator
gets
gets made by
somebody.
somebody. And generally
Generally
it's
it's
a
a union.
And
You know Otis?
We got a call to start. I was on the list.
Who's Otis? How you know Otis? I need to find out why Yvonne's so familiar with this dude Otis. We need to have a conversation off Zoom. So wait for over here.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah, toss it. It's Christmas tree season, y'all. Look, this is a Christmas tree skirt to go under my Christmas tree. which is actively right here. I got to figure out how to get this on camera more. It's inappropriate that I got a Christmas tree that y'all can't see. We moved everything over. We gonna have to figure it out. Jamarco, get your ass to Albuquerque and help me with this, bro. You're like a film producer, dude. Like, get your life right. If Jamarco don't listen to me, bro. That's the problem. He don't take my advice.
Next week.
Okay, deal. So Peter, so now what happened, Kate?
I was just gonna say this morning during role plays, Jamarco was looking at the tropics of Arizona, so
Why?
that's the tropics of Arizona. That's what he said. So
That sounds like a Jim Marco answer.
Yeah.
And going to the tropics of Arizona.
I said that this morning. That was crazy.
That makes sense. All right. So Peter, you're going to fix elevators. So how much I am not currently myself employed with the elevator union, nor have I ever been offered to be employed with Otis or the union of elevators. So how does that work? Like, how are you going to close deals when Otis out here taking all your free time?
I thought the same exact thing, and I said yes with the expectation that I can always say no. So I said yes. I can always walk away.
Yeah.
Contractual. I don't die if I walk away.
So I said yes to see what I can leverage.
And it's not
Okay.
about the money. Even though the money's great, but I still I'm betting on me. $50,000 a month with real estate, building up to it. Money lending is not going to be a problem no matter what I do. It's not very time intensive. I do it on my phone.
Yeah.
So there's that. And I actually get out at 2:30 p.m., which is wild. Like, oh. Okay. I got the whole second half of the day to do whatever. And it also made me want to get people to cold call for me. So it helped me prioritize, but make it is real, but it made me feel like I need to prioritize. So I am actively recruiting people to cold call leads for me, so I get more inbound, more warm leads to close.
That's fire, bro. That's awesome. It sounds like you're on the right path, dude. So I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Network with the union presidents and figure that shit out. So I can value I can bring them, and they can bring me. That was kind of also my side quest.
What I need you to do is I need you to acknowledge that everything we're teaching here, another benefit of saying screw scripts and processes, is you get good at this, bro, you can take that there and you can start negotiating with them and getting them to feel comfortable to do business with you at a much higher level outside of that, right? This is the nuance of human interaction and understanding and making people feel safe and comfortable around you and feeling like you're a person that they can trust and look up to in regards to business. Like, imagine the dichotomy of going to your boss, who by definition is in a higher role than you, and getting them to see you as a person they need to look up to. Right, this is what you need to bring to that relationship.
Like bankers that intimidated by the business side of the bank, of any bank, it's just normal human being. And they're starting asking me about this more being. I'm like, use my referral if you're gonna join.
Nah, I like it. That's awesome, dude. Okay, dope. Who else? Ed, you got your call ready, bro?
Yeah, I can download it real quick.
Do it. I wonder if Nathan's on a call, just not letting us hear it like a weirdo. Imagine. Why is he like this?
Can I hear my intro? Can I spit you my intro real quick?
Yes, you can spit me my intro. Call Al. Al, you're the seller.
You're free
foreclosure.
Okay.
Ring.
Hello.
Hey Al, this is Peter. It looks like the bank's giving you a hard time. I'm pretty sure you're on top of it. I just wanted to ask, has anyone helped you through that process?
Yeah, it's taken care of. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Peter calling. I'm glad to hear that you're on top of it. I assumed you were, but I just wanted to ask if whatever you chose to do, did you have a backup plan for that?
Yeah, I'm just not quite sure. Like we're on behalf of Glory.
Hey, that's a great question. My name is Peter. I help families get out of pre-foreclosure. I'm well connected in the real estate community, and the banking industry, and any other professional you might need, I can refer you to. But right now, the question is, are you being taken care of? And if not, how can I help?
Gotcha.
All right, we're good. Now we're good there. Yeah, so wait, hold on. There's an echo coming? I didn't know there was an echo. Are you serious right now? Y'all were supposed to tell me if there was an echo, y'all.
I didn't hear an echo.
No, I
No echo.
There
There was no echo on YouTube.
Yeah, there is.
How do you say echo in Italian?
Ecoito.
Well,
You want
you
to know,
want to know
it's a Latin word, so it's echo. So,
Fascinating. Thanks,
yeah,
John.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
you're welcome.
Anytime.
My version was way better, just so we're clear. There is a bad echo on this. All of y'all who were supposed to get my back on this thing, very disappointed. How do I do this, man? I don't know how I do this. I really don't know how I do this. This is why streaming directly from YouTube was way better, because it is. I had the same issue when we were doing a closers octagon. Luke, I appreciate you, bro. We sent the updated link in case you wanted to jump in the actual community, bro. But you're getting my back on this. Hold on, I gotta fix this. This is really bad. The problem is Zoom mutes out the echo. StreamYard apparently does it. StreamYard, if you're watching for some strange reason, get your life together. Edit. How would I do this? Jamarco, fix it for me, bro. You're the guy. Fix it. All right, Al, talk.
Talk about what?
All right, Al, talk.
What? Hello? 1, 2, 3.
Definitely
There's an echo.
Jeez.
Really? I don't hear it.
All right, I'm gonna try something else. Hold on. I'm gonna try this. Let me see. Stay on the. Hold on. Let's do this.
Yeah, because on YouTube it's not here.
Hold on. Window, Zoom. Okay. Now, are you on Zoom, Jamarco? Hold on.
On Zoom and on YouTube.
Okay. Let's try this. I think this is better.
On Zoom and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Wait, say it again.
Does it still have echo?
Wait, say it again.
No, there's no echo here. You fixed it. It's Gucci now.
All right, that sucked. My bad. Thanks for anybody on YouTube that was watching. I'm sorry the audio's trashed. I got to get this fixed. This is quite annoying. In any case, Luke, you got tagged in it. You're tagged in a post with the link. If it doesn't work, let me know and I'll DM it to you. My bad. Okay, so we just did the role play. Peter, how do you feel about your role play, dog? 1 out of 10. Don't say 4. Don't say 7.
The tonality is like a 3. I know it's supposed to be. I didn't. But tonality is lacking in there. But I think I don't feel like I insulted the seller. Genuinely, wasn't intentionally.
You didn't.
Trying to dodge it.
You didn't offer her a sandwich, so there's that.
What? Yeah, exactly. Hope she picked up on that.
Part of profile building is going to be learn how to read Kate's face, so you can just understand what's happening in circumstances. Because all you got to do is look at Kate's face, and you're gonna find out. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't like the I bet you're on top of it intro. I just I don't have any constructive feedback on it. My knee-jerk reaction is I don't like it. I also felt like you kind of got stuck in a loop introducing yourself a little bit. But like if they're on top of it, why are you even calling them? I guess that's my question.
All right.
Yeah, Oracle?
Go ahead, Al.
Like, I mean, it's like the pizza guy showing up, like, you know, I know you didn't want pizza, but here I am. So, like, I don't know. I don't think, I feel like it's giving an objection. Or giving them permission to have their head buried in the sand. And, you know, because they're like, most pre-foreclosures, as you know, they're not gonna admit there's a problem. So you've just given them permission to put off that there actually is a problem. If that makes sense.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, Peter, I'm an analytical person, so if something doesn't make sense in my mind, I'm gonna stay there and not move on until you make it make sense. So exactly like Kate said, if the pizza just shows up on, like, I'm not just gonna take it unless I understand. Unless they tell me, hey, neighbor ordered the pizza, but they're not here. I don't have anything to do with it. You want the pizza? I'm like, okay, give me the pizza. That would make sense.
Appreciate the feedback. I thought it was a different psychology of like building up their confidence. They are competent, not saying they can't pay their shit. I was assuming they can pay their shit. I just wanted to see if there was anything else they might need that they're not getting.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: based on everything that we've covered in like the last week or so since you've been here, in feedbacks to this, how do you feel like this has evolved from where you were?
I'm not assuming they're a piece of shit who can't pay their bills. I'm just assuming they can pay their bills. And I'm just coming up like, how can I be of service? And eventually going to go into the ask of let's talk about selling if that's an option.
Okay. So you in your head have made a shift. Here's my question to you. Do you think that shift is being perceived by the people on the other end of the phone?
No one's hung up on me since I've been using that tone or those words. Similar to those words, maybe not exactly like I know you, I bet you're on top of it, I know you are, like whatever variation of like that. No one's hung up on me on that. Red, yellow, blue doesn't matter. I always got the next part.
Is this the barrier of success? Is this the bar we
No,
shoot
it's
for?
not. No, it's not.
Okay. How many deals did you get? Hey, stop it. Let me tell you how many times I didn't get hung up on.
Yeah, you say it like that. Yeah.
All right. Just I'm here to just provide perspective. That's it. Here's the thing, Peter.
Perfect perspective. No, thank you for putting the spotlight where it needs to be. You're right.
Okay, here's my question though. Kate, Al, I intellectually understand Peter's rationale. That tracks with me. That makes sense to me. And I could understand that line of reasoning and why he made that decision. My question to you guys, as external viewers, did you feel the difference
From last time?
from his previous intros and interactions to today's interactions? Does it feel as different as he?
Like 1,000 times better. Sometimes, sorry, I forget to compliment sometimes, Peter. Like, even when I think it's better, I forget to say it. No, it was 1,000 times better. Like, I didn't feel like I was stuck. Like, I was happy at the time because, bro, let me know who you are. We can chat about it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Kate?
So.
Yeah, this one didn't make me feel uncomfortable. I would agree with that. I think you have made me uncomfortable before on calls.
Video incoming. The video should be out today, by the way, Peter, so you can see it for yourself.
I need a refresher.
I'll just start turning my camera off.
Now, here's go ahead, Kate. Go ahead.
Yeah, so don't. This is why no one wants to play poker with me.
Now, I want to play poker with Kate. I just
want to be my partner.
I do not want to be Kate's partner in a card game.
Yeah, so I did like about. I thought that you did slow down a little bit too. You were not quite as fast paced. Like it didn't sound like you were on 2x speed this time. So I think you've taken that feedback. Yeah, but it's an improvement. I just didn't like that kind of intro.
Okay, Peter, here is my response to this, bro. I agree largely with a lot of what's being said. You are still more in your head than you are in the seller's situation. This is an evolution, right? This is a very, very difficult thing to change, especially for a strong person or you're strong-willed, you got the strong mind, right? Like these changes are going to be very, very difficult for you, right? But you're making them and you're making progress on them. So this is good. You're on the right path. I would not advise you to stop here. I don't think you've found your intro. I think you're on the journey to your intro. But I think the nuance in making it feel a little bit less pressured, right? Trying to shove a sandwich in their mouth, like, eat my sandwich, bro. Let me help you. Right? That's this is better. This is better than that. It was never that bad, but it's just funny to say it was. So yeah, I would still switch it up. Hold on, wait. Just got cleared to close this big deal. I think Rodolfo just said he just made $260,000 right here on the call. So here's the thing. Let me see if I can type something up, man, because I know I've typed this up before, and I feel like I might be typing it in vain. But let me do this.
Rodolfo, you're a freaking man. Let's go.
Yeah, man, I just got bid to close tomorrow.
Let's go. What happened? Fill us in. Talk to us. Let the people know.
Bro, so the big deal, just got the lead search, it's clean. So I'm going to go sign tomorrow. We're just waiting to see the buyer can go sign tomorrow. That's the thing, but we got the clear. And the other deal, everything is running, so I'm hoping that we can close it tomorrow as well.
Wait,
So
on two different deals?
Yeah, if I close both of them tomorrow will be still gonna be a great thing regardless, but it's gonna be a cherry on top.
What's the total takeaway, bro? If all this goes through, how big is the wire? You want to tell us, dog? What's the wire looking like, bro?
Well, the fee for the big one is 256, and the other one complete is 40.
So that's $306,000 being deposited into your bank account in one day.
Well, not completely, because remember that I have I'm paying some fees to one of the dispo and then to my buddy that I'm putting in the other. But complete is over 300. In my account, a little bit over 200.
Okay. In one day. Closerscollective.com is where, if where you want to go. If you want haircuts like Rodolfo, that's it. We talking about haircuts. What happened?
Man, I told you, I texted you. I'm like, bro, I've been stressing so much. Not about the big deal. That one is already said, not even the other one.
Yeah.
Bro, if I can close both of them tomorrow, man. Jesus, man. I'm taking the Friday off.
You should. You should. You could go do push-ups or something. What do you do for spare time? Upside down push-ups with your shirt off in the park? Are you definitely take every opportunity to take your shirt off for no reason whatsoever, don't you?
Oh, bro, it's just hot. It's Miami, bro.
I've seen you with topless more than I've seen you with a shirt on, bro. And it's awkward. It makes Al giggle. Al giggles every time he sees you, but like for me, I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie.
Who?
Al giggles every single time.
That's a bromance, man. That's my bromance.
I respect it. It should be. That's why he's in Colombia. I heard he's in Colombia just so you feel closer to him.
The learning is culture, bro.
You gotta learn the code. If you gotta find an in profile build, dog. Now, jokes aside, Rodolfo, that's huge, man. I'm really, really excited for you. Rest of the year about to be the best of your year, dog. Like, let's just big wins. I'm excited for all of us to get them too.
I appreciate it, bro. And I think I'm close to getting another one. The petition one that could be another potential. I actually have the call because I recorded it because this was a lady that she was against it, and I kind of flipped her. So let me know if you want to hear it. But this one, when I buy the deeds, it's going to be another 6 one.
That's huge, dude. What's your goal financially for the end of the year? Like, you already close to breaking $500,000. Do you want to shoot higher than that? What do you think?
Yeah, man, of course. I'm leaving to Colombia because my wife is getting a surgery. No, she's not getting her boobs done now. Because I know everyone that goes to Colombia gets their boobs.
Al, why are you thinking about Rodolfo's wife's boobs, bro? Be respectful. Jesus, Al.
No, she's
My friend here has a joke, like, why does none of the girls here has money? Because they spend it all
On boobs?
boobs.
surgery, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm actually leaving to Colombia on the 17th of December because she has to get a surgery on her legs. Both of the pregnancies, they were, I don't know how you call that in English, but the veins, they get like really. There you go. Yeah, she's got like a really bad one on the inside of her right thigh. I told her that she has 70-year-old legs, so she has to go get a surgery for that. So my plan is to keep on working all the way through the end of the year. But yeah, man, it will be sweet if I can log a couple of more. But I can say I'm proud of myself for these 2, bro, because they haven't been easy, man. They haven't been easy. So it's been a long road, and I can say I feel proud, bro, because I honestly, like, right after I locked up, well, I got into Closers Collective, and then I locked up that deal like 3 weeks after, and definitely the pointers that I got from here definitely helped me to log that up. So, that was cool, bro. It's been a long way, man, but it's worth it. So, yeah, man, I want to finish with everything. Finish it all.
Is that from just a house, or like what kind of deal is it?
It's a house. It was a really hairy deal. It was a probate, fire damage, order house. Yeah. So I'm in the Miami market, and I locked it up really low.
That's all. Here's the thing, man. This is the part that really makes me excited, right? So you get like the Mitches of the world and the Eds of the world. Ed was a little bit more familiar with me, and oftentimes, and I don't really know. I think usually most people kind of communicate with me the feedback that they get when they come here because it's just such a removal from what we see in a lot of other places. But what's exciting to me is that if people are willing to take the detour from the road they thought they were supposed to be on to get good at this, it just opens up a new journey, man. And it's crazy to me and exciting to me that somebody like Rodolfo, who was on a path and was frustrated and struggling with it, came here. He's got a video out there. We got a video on YouTube. He's like, man, it was tough, right? Like, did you say there was one time where I gave feedback and even your wife was like, damn, that was rough?
She was like, damn, they don't play around.
But those are the things that get you to where a couple weeks later, now you're making almost $300,000 on one deal because you overcame the real problem and didn't just learn a new line. That probably wouldn't have helped anything in the first place.
Man, and you know what the funny thing, bro, that I still feel that I got a long way to go, man. Like, I still feel that I have so much to learn and so much to sharpen. And like, I now, because I don't know, when I record conversations with Mojo, it's not good quality. So lately, when I know that it's going to be a conversation that I want to review myself, I open Photo Booth and I record myself talking to them. That's why I put this thing here so I can hear better under the video. And I've seen the evolution, like on my how do you call that? Where all the videos are?
The archives and the stories?
Yeah. If you go from left to right within each conversation, you see like the little improvements. So, and I still think that I have long ways to go, man. Like, I hear some people, you guys that so fluent. Like, I listen to Eckhart think it was like what, like you said that it was like almost perfect call. Like I listened to that and I'm like, damn, I want to sound like that, you know? So I still feel that if I was able to get to this point with, you know, the skills that I have now, like, man, if you get better at them, it's like skies. That's not, it's just everything. And like I said, not to get emotional or anything like that, but I do appreciate you, not only because you helped me with the selling skills, but you made me realize that I definitely I needed to stop being a bitch, you know, talking to sellers and I was actually projecting that to my kids. And I definitely, that's something that I think I said that before, but as a parent, being a parent is the most important thing to me. Being a father is the single greatest honor that I have. And, you know, just the fact that you made me realize that, hey, bro, you need to stand up, voice, whenever you're not in agreement or you see something that is off, or someone is disrespecting you, you gotta stand up for yourself. And ever since you said that, I'm like, damn, man, he's right. Am I projecting that to my kids? Like, I want my boys to be able to stand up for themselves and freaking, you know, eat the world. Right? So from that moment, like, it's always been engraved in my mind. Like, hey, bro, like, you know, like, you gotta go, you know. And yeah, man, I appreciate that, bro. Like, I really appreciate that. It made a difference in my life. Not only as far as the sales and the aspect of the business, but personally, as a father and as a man, it made me wake up. It was like a wake up call. Like, hey, bro, what are you doing? You gotta man up. You gotta be a man for your kids. So that I appreciate it.
Now, it means the world, man. I appreciate that right back, bro. In my opinion, this is what this is all about. This is what this is supposed to be about, right? Like, one-liners ain't going to change your life. They won't hurt necessarily. I mean, they can, but really, it's bigger than all of this. Like, what's at our disposal is endless opportunity. That's one of the reasons why I love this industry. If we just start from this industry, one of the great things about having conversations like this in this industry is, here's what it does. It gives us permission to deal with life's BS, the crap that we have in ourselves that stops us in life. It gives us permission to do that while simultaneously making money. Well, how? Because we work in an industry where you can make $250,000 on one deal. $250,000 on one deal. Imagine working in an industry where you can come to a Zoom, listen to some feedback, and by nature of listening to feedback that challenges you as a human being, not as a salesperson, not as a wholesaler, not as a real estate investor, as a human being, you apply that thing, as uncomfortable as it was, and not only do you become, to Rodolfo's point, which is the craziest claim, for me this is way more, in my opinion, and I think in Rodolfo's opinion, way more than any money, you become a better father for your children. But, oh, by the way, I also made $250,000 in the process just because I learned the lesson. Like, imagine the opportunity. That's such a crazy position that we're in. And this is why when y'all see me sitting here spending 6 hours on a Zoom talking about this stuff, right? Why am I doing it? I'm doing it for this. Because if we can catch it, all of us, there's no limit and no end to what we can accomplish. Because to Rodolfo's point, not only can we take this and become better men and women and people for the families and the people in our lives, but we can make life and generationally transforming income while simultaneously doing that. And then, oh, by the way, if I get tired of talking to sellers directly, I can take this skill and I can use it anywhere. I can go to any industry. I can open up any business. I can buy any business. Because why? I understood the thing that holds most people back, which is this: how to interact with the people on this planet. That is the superpower. When you can master that, you master anything. So big respect, Rodolfo. That thing is huge, dude. I'm really, really excited, bro. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited to see what's to come. Because to your point, dude, like you just started, dog. Like imagine what comes next. Imagine what this time next year looks like.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you all. And not only, you, so everyone in here, I know
Yep.
Adam has been a big help to me, even when we got into that argument, of time and everything. That's a conversation that I always keep in my mind. Now, every time, somebody, you gotta move, it's like, I learn to analyze things better and a little bit deeper. So I learned from everyone here a little bit more. So,
Love that, dude.
yeah, appreciate it.
We're family, man. Nathan, I'm excited for you, bro. You better have plenty of stories like this. You got a deal closing tomorrow, if I understand.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over.
It's not over till it's over. It's not $250,000 yet, but that's to come. We just started this challenge, right? We got to create a bunch of stories. I want to have conversations like this every single day. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for the Mitches and the Eds of the world, the Peters of the world who just jumped in here and are probably seeing okay, this is such a removal from what we saw, but I knew there was something here, and I'm excited to see it come together. Ed, from your perspective, right? You've explained what kind of brought you this direction. Is it starting to come together for you, man? Are you starting to see how these pieces kind of paint a different picture that can actually get you closer to where you're trying to go?
Yeah, for sure. I know this is the right path to take right here. I know it's gonna take a lot of work on my end, right? To learn and to take chances, as he mentioned to Mitch yesterday, man. And I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready to get to the next level.
I love it. Let's get it. That being said, bro, where your calls at? Let's go.
Yeah, sure.
Just go to share screen, and then when the little thing pops up, go to the top. It says advanced, and then where you click advanced, you should see computer audio.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were y'all able to hear that?
Yep.
Perfect. As Sarah mentioned, our process is actually super simple. The only thing I have to do in order to get Ms. Milligan an offer is get a few more details and on property conditions, right? Once I have all that information, what I do next is I speak with the partners and they let me know the exact amount that the property qualifies for, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're free to come look at it. I mean, whatever you want to do.
We have very seamless process. I can ask you a couple questions over the phone.
Okay.
And get you a pretty accurate offers better when we're off. But
Okay.
I think the idea here is that, when my partners just come back with the offer, you feel comfortable or she feels comfortable giving me a solid yes or no decision. If it's a bit,
Yes.
great. If
Okay.
not, no worries. You know your options, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So before I begin, I just want to share with you that I know the partners closed on a few properties this morning. So right now they do have funds that they're looking to use on a new property. If we are able to agree on fair price for this one, or is Ms. Milligan definitely, she definitely ready to go?
Yeah, she's sitting right here.
Okay, so she's definitely in a position to make a decision on.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Let me pull the property up.
Why are you talking through a third party?
So while I'm pulling the property up, let's take it from the. So this, I'm speaking with the daughter. It's the mom's property. And sounds like the mom may have like an accent, so she's right there. Helping the mom out. But this is the daughter I'm speaking with.
Okay. All right. Let's see how it plays out.
let me know, tell me what's going on and how can we help?
Okay, it's a property thing.
Well, I wanted to
Better-
kind of get an idea of what kind of guy is thinking of selling right now.
Oh, my son is just, he won't, leave her alone, and he wants to live here, and his dog won't live here. And she just wants to get away from it all, and that, she's lived with it for 2 years now, and she's ready to get away from it. And so that's basically why we're doing, why she's doing this,
Okay.
because of him.
Because of your son?
Yes,
Okay. So she is your mother-in-law?
she's my mother.
She's your mother.
Yeah.
She's your mother, and she let your son, her grandson, live with her for 2 years, and him and his dog have messed the property.
Yes, and just everything. So she's gonna move in with my daughter, so she'll be happier with it.
So she's moving in with your daughter. So currently the house is vacant, or does your son?
Oh, no. No, he comes and goes, but he's hardly ever here, so nowadays he's hardly ever here.
Okay. So who's currently living in the property? Is it your mother?
I guess my mother.
Okay. And aside from her being tired of your son, her grandson, is there anything else that's kind of got her thinking of selling right now?
Well, she's too old to do other repairs and upgrades to the house, so she just rather not have anything to worry about, she said.
Okay, so she'd rather just sell it and have this condition, and that's it.
Yeah, as is condition.
Okay, gotcha. So how long has she been, dealing with the grandson and, and things?
I say 2 years, but I can say it's probably been longer.
Mhm.
And, he's just broken every door in the house, he just got problems, and so, we just kind of like her to get away and not have to worry about it.
When you say he has
Not-
problems, what do you mean by that?
Well, anybody who knocks a door off for the hinges, they've got a problem. And especially, he's almost done every door in the house. So,
Oh my.
but he's getting better, but we just, want him to learn to be on his own.
Okay, not a problem. So it sounds like, some of this property, somewhat of a big deal
Pause.
right now.
Pause it, Ed. Do you hear what, or have a guess at what I'm about to say?
Something about my questioning.
What about it?
Not asking the right questions.
It's not about questions. It's about people, right?
Okay.
Your process isn't bad. Your questions aren't bad, but questions alone don't close deals. Interacting with people successfully closes deals. Well, in your opinion, what's going to make people want to do business with you more? Great questions or great interactions? Interactions, right? So if you can take great questions and turn them into simultaneously also great interactions, well, now you're getting the best of both worlds, right? So in this particular circumstance, you're asking questions. But this woman just got done telling you that somebody going through this house, breaking off all of the doors in the house. How severe of a situation do you think that is for their family?
That sounds pretty bad.
How much time do you think they as a family have spent talking about that, dealing with it, walking through what that means, dealing with the impacts of that?
I'd say years based on what she said.
Okay. And your summary after she shares with you something that's so vulnerable that they potentially spent years struggling with it is to say, wow, okay, and then go back to your questions? Why not spend time there? Why not act like you care? Why not spend time at a thing that you know matters to them? Like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sorry, but what happened? What's going on? Right? Get her to open up to you, because the chances are they want to open up about that. They want to talk about that because that's a burden for them. It's a weight. It's heavy, and they can share that with you. Now you're sharing that weight with them. And what that does is that creates a bond, that creates a relationship. It lets them know you care more than just about the house. You care about them as well. But you breeze past an overwhelmingly significant thing to go back to asking questions about the house. Why? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's probably one of the main things I struggle with is showing empathy.
Well, here's a cool thing. This goes past showing empathy. I'm gonna use it in language that may resonate with you more. You don't have it's not a question of showing empathy. It's a question of being real. Do you consider yourself a real person, or you kind of like a phony dude that likes to front and just be fake and false in front of people?
I like to consider myself real.
I would consider that about you as well, based on my interactions with you, right? Which is why I asked it the way I did. So I can understand why it might be difficult to get all empathetic and talk about people's feelings. That's hard. But keeping it real is a little bit easier. And essentially what you're doing is when you're talking to somebody about a real situation, just keep it real with them. Be like, yo, that's crazy. Like, are you good? Like, is everything all right? If you redefine the thing that you're struggling with and give it a name that you're more familiar with, oftentimes that alone gives you permission to do it without having to overcome a barrier, because you just gave it a name that you're used to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So I would just say, don't try to go and learn a whole new skill. Just realize that you actually have this skill inherently. Just start doing it here too. So I feel like the struggle with the empathy is one thing, but maybe don't worry about empathy. Worry about just keeping it real, because keeping it real is a variation of empathy if you do it from a place of care. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Okay. Now that's a nuanced thing to say. That's not universally applicable, but I think for your personal case it is. So I would just think about that. Yeah, bro. Like I really paused there because what I want to do is I want to highlight opportunities that you may be missing. And I feel like this one, regardless of what happens with this deal, and I don't want to know yet, regardless of what happened or happens with this deal, like just understand that that was an opportunity you could have just dug in more. And really this situations like that are where you go from a person with a reasonable offer that they'll consider to the person that they're like, oh my gosh, I really like that guy. Like, I just want to work with this person, right? You ever heard those stories about people who had the lower offer but still got the deal?
Yeah.
That's how.
I think I probably have one deal like that I remember of.
That's it. So your goal should be to get as many like that as possible. And it's by spending time in places like this. So I just wanted to point it out, put that in your like mental pocket, if you will. And I would just kind of keep that in your back pocket so you know going forward. But yeah, let's continue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, pause again. Pause again. We're gonna work on this, bro. We're gonna work on this. Al says send me Keisha's number. Get out of people's DMs, bro. Jesus. I don't even know Keisha like that. What if Keisha married? I don't care. I was just talking about Rodolfo's wife's boobs. So this dude don't have no respect. So Ed, let's you want to dial this in, right? Like Dialed in?
Yeah, sure.
I bet. So let's talk about the nuance, right? So language, we're always talking, we're always sending messages. We just don't realize it because we filter it through our head, not theirs, right? So when I hear you say that, you said, oh, who's Keisha again? I'm sorry. Who's Keisha again? I'm sorry. That sounds professional. It sounds cold. It sounds jaded, right? What's another way you could have said that? Throw me a couple of other ways that you could have said that same question, but made it sound personable.
But make it sound personal?
Make it sound personable. Yep.
Keisha, who's she? Sounds like a good friend.
That's an option. Let's go another one. Because you're very structured in your speech. What's another good one?
What do you mean by very structured?
You're very structured. Oh, who is Keisha? She sounds like a good friend, right? Like that's a very structured and organized way to speak. Most people are a little bit more casual.
Maybe, let me say, maybe Mirror Keisha.
That's a way to do it too. And people in sales make that weird because that sounds like you're almost being suspect. Like, wait, who Keisha, bro? Here's how I would probably do it. I'd be like, oh, Keisha, all right, who Keisha? Like, can I come? Right? You can make a joke about it. Or you can just say, oh, okay, Keisha's going on cruises. Is she a family member? Right? And you could just make an assumption to make it sound light. Tonality and inflection become really important because it allows you to ask hard questions, but they're received as jovial or fun or not that serious. Make sense?
Yeah, like the cheerful, playful tonality, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I like that. I like that first one. Can I come?
Yeah, exactly, right? Because what you're doing is when you ask obvious jokes, the emphasis on the tonality is less important. Right? If you're asking a stern question, the requirement for tonality is much more important. So if I'm like, oh, so let's say I'm saying, is Keisha a family member? That is all tonality. So what do I mean? Let's break this down. Keisha, is that a family member? Right? Well, now it sounds like I'm interrogating. That's none of my business, right? But if I'm like, oh, Keisha, is that a family member? Now it sounds a little bit fun. So now the sinking or swimming of that question relies on my ability to appropriately deploy tonality. Well, if I'm not comfortable in my consistent ability to deploy tonality, well, now I'm asking a bad question, and that wasn't my intent. And now I'm like, oh, I didn't mean it like that, and most of us fall into this category. It becomes a problem, right? However, you can avoid that if you just go straight to the joke. So what's the takeaway, guys? If you're trying to ask hard questions, there's a couple ways to do it. One, include an obvious joke. If you're not strong in your tonality, if you're really dialed in your tonality, your inflections are good. You don't always have to throw a joke out there. You can just ask the question with tonality, and your tonality becomes the humor, right? And that's the really big difference. So in your particular case, I don't know where you feel comfortable personally on tonality, but yeah, the joke is probably a good idea. Hey, all right, bet. Yeah, cruises, can I come? Right now, you've made it a joke. 9 times out of 10, she's gonna giggle. Every time a person laughs, a wall comes down. You want all the walls down in a conversation. So getting them to laugh, getting them to bring that wall down, getting them to start feeling a little bit more relieved, that'll help you 100% of the time. That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Okay. And then go back a couple seconds because you said something right after that. And well, we're going to pause, but go back like 5 seconds.
Who's Keisha? I'm sorry.
I'll do that. Well, live her life the way she wants to. Oh, yes. Go on a cruise with Keisha. I don't know.
Go on a cruise with who, Keisha?
Yeah.
Who's Keisha? I'm sorry.
I'll do that.
Get it?
Yeah, I got that. Do you hear how weird and awkward that kind of sounds now? Listening to it back?
Yeah.
All right. Now play the next thing and we're going to pause.
And mine, a hairdresser that I know real good. She goes on cruises all the time.
Sounds like fun.
Pause.
Yeah.
Did you hear the way you just say sounds like fun?
Yeah.
Did it in fact sound like fun?
That sounds boring.
Yeah, sounds like fun. It's like, all right, bro. Just tell me you don't like cruises, dog. Yeah, I mean, If you're gonna say something like sounds like fun, then make it sound fun. Unless you're trying to be sarcastic. That sounded like you was trying to be sarcastic, like, I'm gonna go to the library. Ah, sounds like fun. Right? Are you catching the nuance, bro, and how that comes across?
Yeah.
So when you're focused on your questions, you lose things like this. And when we have this mindset that it's all about the questions that we ask, we're losing the people on the other end of the line. And we start realizing it's not about the questions that I'm asking alone. It's about the way I'm interacting with the person while I'm asking the questions. So if you're going to be on the phone anyways, you're going to be asking the questions anyways, why not connect with them in the process? You don't even have to necessarily change big things about your process just yet. You can keep doing this, but start adding these subtle things. Now you're getting the giggles. Now you're getting the wall coming down. Now you're getting that personal connection. And I'm assuming now that you hear this, you can start to see how, yeah, this is going to now, like, do you or do you not? And if you don't see it, tell me you don't. But based on just this 1 10-second portion of the conversation, do you see how these simple tweaks can change everything about the trajectory of the relationship?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That sounds like fun. Definitely did sound like fun.
All right, dope. All right, bet. Let's continue.
I think I'm about to roll into property conditions here. Do you guys want to hear that part?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's go through it. So tell me about the roof.
Here, I just had property pulled up. Where did it go? Here, you've been in the property recently, right?
Yeah,
So you'd be able to share what kind of condition the property is in, right?
yeah. I'm out in our house right now.
Okay, cool. So from the picture that I'm looking here, it says that it's 1,892 square feet. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. Could you confirm the bedroom, bathroom?
There's three bedrooms, 2 baths, 2 full baths. The 2 baths need to be remodeled. They're
Okay. Give me a
out
second.
of
Give me a
date.
second. Give me a second. I'll get ahead. Right. Currently, Diane, who's living in the property? Is it empty?
No, my mom's living here with the 4 dogs, and I come over quite often and visit her.
Okay.
And my son, whatever he does.
Okay. Now, if you could use one word, Diane, to summarize the condition of the property, would you use good, fair, or uninhabitable? Which word would you use?
What would you use, Mom? Fair? If you could name how this house looks now, it's fair, it's
Good or poor?
or poor. Oh. Okay. She said fair. I say fair too.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of good things about the house.
Okay. You said both bathrooms need to be updated, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Tell me about the showers. Is it a walk-in shower or is it a tub and shower combo in both bathrooms?
It's a tub and shower in both bathrooms.
Okay. Now, what is the condition of the vanity, the counter and the mirror? Are they good, fair, poor?
They're out of date, pretty bad. The one in my son's bathroom is, cigarette burns and stuff. So I would replace it.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the flooring throughout the home. Is it hardwood, tile, carpet?
It's all of them. Let's see, there's hardwood and there's some of the floors are just concrete where we haven't, I took out the carpet and never replaced, I hadn't replaced it, and so
Okay.
it's not that.
Perfect. Now, what about the kitchen? When was the last time that was updated?
Now, when was the kitchen updated? When was the kitchen updated? 14, 15 years ago. Oh, a little over 10 years ago.
And what exactly was up? Cabinet, was it countertops, was it floor, was it appliance?
Cabinet, the cabinets, the floor, the sink, the countertop, and just the appliances they need to be upgraded.
Okay, so that needs to be updated, or was that updated?
No, the kitchen's fine, it just needs new appliances.
Okay, what kind of countertops are in the kitchen? Are they granite, quartz, laminate?
I think Wilson Art laminate. I think, oh, craft made.
And how old is the roof?
Like 14 years. He's just estimating. She's got all the bills, so if you need any of them. How much she paid for it.
Now tell me about the windows. Are they wooden frame, aluminum frame, vinyl frames?
Now, what kind of windows are those? Metal frames? They're storm windows, right? Yeah, she had to especially put in the windows. Double panels or whatever. Double. What did you call it? Yeah, double glass.
Okay, when were they updated? Windows.
About 10 years ago.
And now, are they all functioning, or do some of them have issues?
They're all functioning, I think. Yeah, they're all functioning windows. Yeah.
Approximately how many windows are there?
About 20.
Okay. Now, what about the HVAC? How old is that unit?
How old is that air conditioning unit? 50.
Did you say 15?
No, she said about 9 years ago.
Okay, how about the hot water tank?
That was about 6 years ago.
City water and sewage, right?
Yeah. It does have a sprinkler system.
All right,
but-
I gotta pause it real quick, Ed.
Under the grass. Under the grass.
I got an honest question, man. How much value do you think this is adding to the conversation? Honestly.
Yeah, no, the property conditions doesn't add any value. That's really to get a repair estimate.
Yeah, but that's not going to change what your guys' offer is, right?
Actually, it does.
Okay, Mitch, how do you run your numbers, bro? Right? Does knowing whether they have wood or glass windows, how big of an impact does that change to the amount that you offer for a cash offer?
We have a whole like system that does it, but yeah, we definitely need. That's one of the things I want to do is do a way that we're asking more generalized questions that make the property conditions not last for 25 minutes.
Yeah, you know the question that I ask about the property when it comes to condition, my honest opinion.
What is it?
I say either I don't ask and I just use a basic assumption based on what they tell me in the conversation, because 9 times out of 10, that's going to tell you everything they need to know. Because would you agree or disagree? If they put a bunch of money into that property that they think is going to increase the value, they are going to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a different question. If there is an inherent problem that it's not looking nice, or there's issues that aren't huge, but they're also not going to tell you that, regardless of if you ask them 8, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. It doesn't hide everything they can.
So by definition, huge updates impact your offer. Yes?
Yeah.
Huge problems may impact your offer because by definition, 50, 60, 70% to ARV are designed to factor in huge impacts that they don't tell us. Yes?
Yeah.
So if we know they're going to tell us the big stuff that would make their offer higher, and they're going to hide the big stuff that's going to make their offer lower, and our offer is built to factor in those things anyways, with most exceptions, and if they leave something out and we find it out and it's that significant, we can always go back and retrade the deal, right? These are all true things. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So at that point, what the hell is the point of even asking? When I'm having a conversation with a seller, I don't ask, because I know that in them telling me when they bought the house, how long they've lived there, in basic conversation, I'm going to understand 80 to 90% of what I need to know about the offer and the property if I'm having a good conversation with them. And if for whatever reason it doesn't get covered in general conversation, I can always throw out there, hey, out of curiosity, like, what's the condition of the house? Is it in good condition? Any major things I need to really be concerned about? Any big stuff? Or is it more or less just livable, not updated, right? And I'm going to ask the question with the assumptions that I think are true about the house to save them from lying to me in the first place. So if I know that they lived in the house for 15, 20 years, and I know that the house was built in the late 90s, I know that there's a decent chance nothing's changed. The house looks like the early 2000s. So I'm going to say, other than, just basic wear and tear, and it probably hasn't been updated, kind of looks like it did when it was built. Is there anything major going on? Nah. Do I not understand everything I need to know about what I need to offer in that house? With the exception of an exception found in a walkthrough by a buyer.
Yeah, I guess you do.
So then it's just, at that point, it's like, why ask the question? I'm going to tell you right now, I almost never go into property detail on a seller call. Almost never. I don't care about your damn windows. I don't care about any of that stuff. Because it doesn't matter. The numbers are still our offer still has to be our offer, right? And the reality is, if the house is upgraded enough, then we're not going to be able to do the deal anyways if it's not good for a cash offer, and that's our option. You know what I mean? So I just never ask these questions. I'm going to tell you right now, I can't think of any scenario where not asking those questions hurt me, because the offer is still the offer. And if there's something inherently bad that our number running doesn't actually answer for that, then I have a huge, hey, bro, you didn't tell me there's a hole in the roof. Got to do something about that. You see what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, it gives you the opportunity with whatever they don't tell you to use it later if you have to renegotiate.
That's it. But the reality is, your numbers are your numbers. Your numbers are going to be your numbers. You're going to be, depending on the market, somewhere between 50 and 70% to ARV, right? Regardless.
On the lower end of that, yeah, because things here aren't exactly that expensive, but yeah.
Okay, so in your market, you're going to be right around somewhere. What is your average percent to ARV?
I would say in between like 40 to 60.
Perfect, right? So you're right around 40 to 60% to ARV. That's standard, bro. Like, legit, just do that. You can just run the numbers based off that. If something in the conversation pops up that is extremely apparent, well, you have room to negotiate or to renegotiate. But that stuff would come up organically. You know what I mean? But I think, would you agree or disagree? At this point in the conversation, 5 minutes ago, she stopped listening. She stopped being engaged in this conversation. And it went from being a conversation that may help my mom to a homework assignment that I don't want to be a part of anymore.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
How many people is that happening to? Al, you used to do property as well. We talked about this a lot. I think you're on the same page as me at this point. It's very vague stuff, if anything. Yeah.
What do you mean? What is
the property question? The detailed questions about property condition.
Oh, that we ask now?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like It's like you said, if it's completely renovated, they're gonna let us know. Like they're not gonna wait for me to ask that.
Yep.
At that point, it's like, hey, is this like terrible? Is this decent?
Anything you think I should know that's going to merely hurt me in the back end, right? If you shoot me straight, right? If you built the right rapport, that would matter to them if they're decent people. You know what I mean? That's it. I honestly, bro, do what you want. My honest opinion, you can get rid of this entire section. Just don't do it. Just skip it. Focus on building the relationship with the person. Your number is going to be 40 to 60% regardless of what they say, bro. It just is what it is. And in the scenarios where it's going to be different, it's going to be different because the scenario calls for it. And you're going to find that out regardless of that interview. It's just an unnecessary thing. And here's my honest opinion. For the majority of the people, I don't think this is necessarily the case for you guys. In my experience, people who spend a lot of time asking property questions do it because they don't know what else to say. And they use property questions as a substitute for actual conversational skills. And the seller can tell. Consciously or unconsciously, the seller can tell, and it just bridges, it builds a gap. It doesn't bridge, it builds a gap in that conversation that lessens the likelihood of them closing. Because why? Well, you're not focusing on closing. You're focusing on distracting them while you try to get towards the close. Now, for you guys, that's a little bit different because this is a part of your process. You have a place where you're getting to the close afterwards. Well, in that situation, I guess I hear you, but then my numbers that I would run, my KPIs that I would run in my head is how many people am I losing? Verbally or non-verbally, consciously or unconsciously in this phase that I don't need to lose. And what else could I be doing with this time? Okay, maybe during this time, I could be just getting deeper into motivation. I could be building real rapport. I could be anchoring. I could be actually getting a feel for where they need to be with the numbers. I could be doing all that stuff. In my opinion, that's a much better use of the time than asking what type of windows they have, right? Secondarily, that's going to take a fraction of the time, unless you guys are just really good into the rapport part of the conversation. And if done properly, then that's time well spent. But in all that other situation, you could have had 3 other seller conversations at this point. Right? And so it's just, that's my opinion, man. That's just, do with that what you will, because I know you have your process and you spend a lot of time building it out, but that's my opinion on that. What are your thoughts?
I definitely agree. I think it makes a completely different conversation, and it takes probably, I would say, 60 to 70% of the call to get through just like that whole thing of getting an exact repair budget. So yeah, I do agree that like we can definitely make it much more generalized, if not at all, really. But yeah, it definitely takes away from the whole conversation because they're like now focused on, well, and even in this situation, we have a third party trying to like relay questions to a 90-year-old woman that doesn't know what flooring is. So it's like it really makes it a completely different, as you said, like a homework assignment, because she's not thinking about, hey, my son broke through the garage because he's a crazy person. She's thinking about, well, what color is the bathroom and all that stuff.
And here's another thing that's even worse, right? Are people usually in a situation like this, she's struggling, she's got a lot going on. Here's the thing that is probably happening. There's a decent chance they're not going to be as forthcoming as we'd like them to be, right? We can all agree with that.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is now what you're doing is you're actually building tension in the conversation because you're asking detailed questions that don't matter and you're forcing them to lie to you. What do you think that unconsciously is doing to the relationship? Shit, I just lied to this dude like 5 times. Shit. Okay, but what happens if he comes and looks this out? Shit. Okay, what happens if he... Now all of a sudden there's this weird tension in the thing because you started asking questions they felt like they needed to lie to that they know they're going to get caught on. When a person is in a situation where they know they've just lied to somebody repeatedly, they're concerned they're going to get caught, and they know that this person's going to have to come over and everything that they said is going to get proven. You think that's going to increase or decrease the likelihood of them avoiding your calls and ghosting you?
Probably increase.
Because you created an environment that didn't need to exist. You created objections that didn't need to be there because you asked questions you don't really need the answer to. Something to think about, bro.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Let's hear the rest of it out, man.
So I'm just curious, so how do you factor in, you know, whatever you, let's say you wholesale, how do you factor in what the buyer gonna have to prepare?
I don't. That's their job. Right. I'm not the buyer. The buyer is gonna have every buyer is gonna have a different opinion on what repairs are. Not all now, it should be more or less similar, but people are different, right? Listen, anybody who's dispoed a deal, they'd be like, yeah, I thought this wasn't a deal. Somebody bought it because they were going to use it for a different reason. They had a different X, right? Who is that? Is that you, Ed?
Yeah, no, that's me.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I've had plenty of conversations. I think, oh, it's going to need $55,000, and then the person goes in there and they paint it, and they clean the trash out. They spent $10,000, right? So it's not my job to do their work. It's my job to find a deal that's locked up at a fair price, and then they tell me if it's worth it or not. I find out how far off I am, and then I go and I retrade the deal if I need to. If I've done my job right and I'm good at running numbers, I probably won't need to. So what am I doing? I'm looking at comps. I'm understanding the market, and I'm saying, based on this market, I know that with the exception of extreme problems like a foundation issue, we all know that a foundation issue is different. A foundation issue is going to change the offer that we can make on a deal 99 times out of 100. So that's different. But that's the 1%, the 5%. So we can't just build around that. So what I know is that if I know that this market calls for 50% to ARV, I know that I know that this house was built in 2000 and it hasn't been rehabbed since. Somebody's lived there. They got this situation going on that somebody's in here breaking the doors. I know that 50% to ARV is probably not going to be it, because there might need to be a little bit more room because this dude in here breaking everything. So I'm going to take it down to 40 because I know that basic math is going to tell me that. If I know that it's just a nice family that hasn't done anything, I might say at 50%. Why? Because I know that there's the variable of damage is different. So I do basic math on that and I run the numbers. They accept the offer or they don't. And at 40% to ARV, because this guy's going crazy, I know that there's a decent likelihood that that's the right number, right? Mitch, Ed, dispo and deals, like, does this not track?
It definitely makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
So that's it, y'all. Like that for me, that's where it's just like, I just, the numbers are always going to be the numbers. The variables will always be variables. I can't build a whole system around a variable. I need to just trust that the numbers will always be the numbers and build my system around that. Once I know that, I know that that comping and underwriting, comping is really as much of an art as it is a science. So I'm just building in that if I get such a good connection with the seller, I know that my numbers are on the right track because I ran appropriate comps, factored what I needed to factor. Well, then I can spend my time building the relationship so that way if I do need to renegotiate this deal, if I do need to make some adjustments, they know me well enough that they know my intent is not to just try to get them for another 10 grand. I'm doing it because I need to do it, and I have that relationship. This is how I differentiate myself from 74 people. Like this is her having this conversation one time, and it's already like, oh my God. Now do you guys understand why when you call someone and they've done this 54 times, they say, yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm good. Give me $1 million. Have a nice day. They don't want to sell less. They just want to do that less. They're just tired of dealing with that crap. This is why differentiating yourself is so important, because when you can let them know out of the gate, by the way, you ain't going to have to deal with none of that nonsense you've been dealing with everybody else. They're going to be like, oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for not sounding like Rodolfo's story. He literally said this the other day. One of his sellers at the end of the conversation was like, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for not sounding like everybody else. You guys are just perfecting sounding like every other unskilled person on the planet. And that's saying something because, Ed, I see you as a skilled person, right? But you're replacing your ability to sound like a skilled person by trying really, really good at sounding like all the other unskilled people out there. And if you're trying really hard to be as good as everybody else's VA, respectfully, then where are you differentiating yourself? Just get a VA.
I have a question. Is Ed the marketing the area that he lives, or is virtual?
And it's virtual. It's the area that I live.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I mean, I used to do the same thing about, condition, and that was something that DQ drilled me when I first got here. He actually would pretend that he was falling asleep on the room while I was.
Now I wasn't pretending, bro. I was passed out.
So what I do is I barely ask about the property, the condition of the property. What I do is I do look at the cash sales, so I know the area really well, what it's South Florida, and I have a pretty good idea as to what cash buyers are paying in certain areas, and regardless of condition, so I usually take like worst case scenario, and I know like, okay, like for example, here where I live here in Hollywood, Florida, I know that a property that is in the anything above the 330s, it's already overpriced. So it's kind of like giving me an idea. So if I see a property that is like 310, I'm like, shoot, that's a deal. A property at that price here in Florida, a cash buyer will take it any day for 330, 340. So I think looking at cash comps and like PropStream gives you good cash comps. It's a great, or the MLS. It's a good way to kind of gauge where you need to be depending on the spread that you want to make.
Bars, appreciate that, Rodolfo. Mitch, Ed, any other final thoughts on that, guys?
I had a point to add.
Add it.
I don't know if you forgot. Yeah, I mean, let's say you don't do that. Let's say you were at 70, because that's what a typical cash offer, like 50% would be. You're at 70,000, someone's at 80,000, right? And they're not going to budge. They're going to stay at 80. Now you can ask, okay, maybe it takes less work than we thought. Maybe the house is just in good condition and it's not going to need a roof. So now I'm going to ask the question about the condition where it makes sense for me to determine whether I can actually make the extra $10,000 work. Right? The bullet, how do you call it? You bullet amount.
Yep.
Yeah. If you have 5 bullets in your gun and you only have once to shoot each one of them during the conversation, then shoot it when it makes more sense.
Some people have different feelings on gun control, bro. Just so you know. Yeah, so to that point, yeah, that's where, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the bullet theory when it comes to sales guys, but essentially the theory is this. If the gun has 6 bullets in it, and that is the amount of questions or one-liners or rebuttals that you have towards a seller, then every time you use that, it's gone. So you got to use it wisely, right? So I think that's the direction that he's going to here, and I hear that. So to that point, I think the correlation he's trying to make is you could spend the time asking the questions, and then now you've already put yourself into a corner. But if you haven't asked the questions and they're not budging on this, well, now in this situation, as a negotiation tactic, now you can get into starting to asking questions about the condition of the property, right? And doing that either justifies you giving a higher offer, right? Because you can't offer 70 and then just out the blue offer 80, right? I'm assuming you're not doing that, right? You're justifying if you're changing your numbers, Mitch, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I mean, especially if it's like 80 is the number they want and we can do it, we never just give it to them, but we'll go back with like or something and we'll have a little discussion and then move on.
Correct. So what you do is you justify a price change. You have to, right? This allows you to justify a price change. You can go and ask questions. Hey, like, I mean, is there any huge holes in the roof? No. Okay. Normally we do this here, back. No, now you've used that as a bullet to justify a price increase. However, if you need to go lower in that, then you can approach it differently. Hey, look, I know you're at where you're at, but here's my question, man. Your house was built here, and now I'm taking a different approach, right? And I'm going to start painting a picture. A lot of the things, you ever seen one of those fix and flip TV shows, right? Where they go in there and they make the house, okay, right? the problem with this industry is those shows make it seem like that's what houses are supposed to look like. And even though we all know not every house looks like that, when I go and I try to list a house on the market, when they're out there and the nice young families trying to buy a house, what do you think they want? They want the house that's in good condition and it's move-in ready, but it was last remodeled in 2003? Or do you think they want the one that looks like the one on the TV show? Well, they're of course the one, right? Okay, great. So that, like, do you understand now? While as much as I understand, you and I agree, Mitch, that your house is probably in great condition, the lady in the new family that's trying to live in one of those TV show houses is not going to agree. And unfortunately, that's my audience. In order for me to make them interested in the property, I have to invest to get it to that point. And if by definition you told me it's not at that point, that means there's a gap I have to fill. Right? Does that make sense as to why I can't give you the offer? It's not because I disagree with you. It's not because I think you're wrong. It's because the market disagrees with you. And unfortunately, I don't make decisions on what properties are worth. The market does. Right? So now I can use that as a renegotiation tactic. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I would definitely save those. Appreciate you, bro. I would save it for situations like that. That's me. I like it. All right, good stuff. Ed, any other questions, bro?
First player?
Yeah, hit it. Out.
We haven't had it fixed in a while.
Any issues with the exterior walls?
You want to skip past all the property conditions at this point?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do it.
Foundation, everything's good. How much more?
What about the garage?
It's, 9,
Is there any liens?
no,
No, back property?
they're included. No, they're included with that payment.
Perfect. Now, when it comes to closings, typically we can do it within 21 to 24 days. However,
Uh-huh.
we know that everyone's situation is different, but what kind of closing timeline do you think would work best for your mother?
Well, I mean, that would be fine, you know.
Perfect. Now, I know you mentioned that your son lives with her, but he hasn't been coming around with you. But aside from him, is there anybody who be upset with her if she didn't know that she was selling the property?
No, she's gonna tell everybody, so it's not a big secret or anything.
Okay.
We're just not gonna tell my son, you know, where she's at. We're not gonna abuse her or anything, it's just, he likes to have money all the time.
Now, how does everybody else feel about her selling the property? Do they want her to sell? Do they want her not to sell?
Yeah, I like one or two. I mean, I do. I don't know, I do.
Now, let's assume that you do like to offer in.
Pause right there real quick. Ed, now you're getting the vibe already, bro, but something like that, right? That's another opportunity for you to just build rapport, right? Who are you talking to right now? The seller or the daughter?
The daughter.
Who's the decision maker?
I mean, I'd say that the mother's the decision maker, but the daughter is an influencer.
Perfect. So who do you need to be your advocate?
The daughter.
There you go. So why not get her on your team? She literally just told you how you get her on your team. She said, I wanted to sell, right? And then what's her name?
Diane.
Diane. All right. I get you, right? So Anna, shoot me straight, right? I know my mom is crazy hard-headed, right? So she does not listen to me. I don't know if you have that same problem, right? So you can take a jovial approach, right? And you can make a joke about it, or you can just kind of just lob it out there. Hey, so I appreciate you. I mean, you're talking to me. She's listening to you. What do you think? Do you think she's going to do it, or do you like your opinion, right? Obviously, you know, our moms are going to do what our moms are going to do. What do you think she's going to do, right? Do you see how doing something like that bridges the gap? It builds rapport just between you and her. You having a you and her conversation. This is not a you, her, and her mom conversation. Now you're building that rapport and that trust so she can be an advocate for you.
Yeah, for sure. I've done that in the past, DQ. So I'm glad that you brought that up because I've done that in the past where I actually processed an influencer and I turned him into an ally and got the deal done like that. You know, and I think this was about a while back. I think I told Mitch about those two. So yeah, I definitely should have thought on that.
Good stuff. All right, let's hear it out.
What would be the next thing that your mother would
Probably the dog, we'd have to get him a place, or he'd have to take him or something, but, dog pound, basically. And, basically, that's it. I don't think she got too much to worry about.
She figured out how she'll be moving her things to your office?
Yeah, my daughter and her husband.
Now, based on everything you shared with me, how, your mother wants to get rid of this property, dealing with your son or
Yeah, yeah,
up and breaking doors off.
yeah.
And, also please take into consideration that, we do purchase the property, we'll, take it as is, clean up, any repairs. Also, we'll cover the closing costs.
Pause it, Ed. So here's another one, right? I'm just throwing these out there. I think you're getting a vibe, but I want to be consistent. It's not what you say, it's also how you say it. So you just said, okay, well, just to be clear, we do this, we do this, we do this, we do that. Okay. You could have said that exact same thing, right? But after you said, well, hey, here's the good thing for you guys. Obviously, you have this struggle with this person that's going doing a lot of damage to your house. The benefit to you guys is we buy the house as is, so you don't have to worry about that, right? You said the same thing, but you presented it as a benefit. Now, all of a sudden, it becomes something they can be excited about and not just a line in the script that you're reading about how you do business. See what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's go.
She has no realtor commissions whatsoever. But if we could do all those other things for her, what does she feel?
What do you feel is a fair price? Fair price. Oh. With the 75,000 add that to it. Cause it's only what? The house is 250. Yeah. They came off 75. Yeah.
Yeah, we just got I just heard a problem right here. Ed, pause that. Anybody just catch the problem I just caught? Let's see. Profile building. Let's see if anybody caught the problem I just caught.
Heard the daughter saying something about add 75 to that. So is there a lien or somebody owed something? Oh, that's the mortgage?
Yeah. It's not on mortgage.
Okay. All right, so I was confused about that comment. Right there.
Anybody else? Go back and play it back one more time, Ed, where she jumps in, and we'll ask again.
Her, she won't have to come out.
We're profile building.
What do you feel is a fair price? Fair price. Oh. With the 75,000 add that to it. Cause it's only what? The house is 250. Yeah. They came off 75. Yeah.
So what's that? Boom, right there. Nothing stands out to anybody. Profile building. Daughter. So here's what it comes down to, guys. This is where listening to personality types and the way people communicate, right? Woman's got an accent. I want to know where she's from, right?
Are you maybe saying like the way the daughter kind of asked her?
Now, the way the mom responded. Listen to her style of speech. She is very curt, abrupt, to the point, has an accent. What I heard from that situation, now I'm only listening for a second. A whole conversation may change this because I haven't had a whole conversation with her. What can I do? I work with what I have, right? And then I'm open to learning if I was right or wrong. But what I know right now is this woman has an accent. She was very, very strong. She was very direct. She was very to the point. She was very curt and stern with her words, right? And she said, okay, that's the thing. Take 75 off. What I'm listening to right here is, why am I not talking to that lady? That lady's still the head of her household. That lady still runs stuff. That lady is not about to be played around with. That lady does not care if I make money. If I'm going to negotiate, she needs to be a part of this negotiation because she has very strong opinions. And based on the fact that she sounds so strong and cut and dry, and her daughter sounds a little bit more passive, what that tells me is that the daughter probably feels like this lady is extremely aggressive. The daughter is the less aggressive one. And so I'm talking to the wrong person, because now I realize that the person that was supposed to be my advocate isn't strong enough to be an advocate. The second she says something the mom doesn't like, she's going to stop listening. And because this woman's lived her entire life with this lady as her mother, she's not going to fight. Because mom's going to do what mom's going to do. That's what I heard based on that. Now, I could be wrong. I could listen a little more and find something else that changes that. But based on that right now, what I know, based on the fact that she said that, I can't negotiate through the daughter anymore. Can't. Because that just told me everything I need to know. The mom's in charge. Mom makes decisions. The daughter is not going to fight for me the way I need her to. I need to go straight to the person, and I need to direct this conversation. But let's see how it goes. Let's play it out.
It's too heavy. That's I'm not getting into it. I need to talk to more than one person.
Boom. What I just pause it.
Talk to more people.
Did that or did that not just prove everything I just said? Literally the next sentence that came out of her mouth.
What did you say?
Play it back, bro.
You know, my bad. Tell me where the house is 250. Yeah. The take off 75. Yeah. You know, my bad. It's too heavy. It's I'm not getting into it. I need to talk to more than one person. Well, you have. I know. I'm ready to talk to more people.
Pause it. I listened to her say a couple words, and because of the way she communicates, I got a profile. And then I waited to see what she said next to find out if my profile was accurate. Based on what you guys heard, did she prove my point or did she not? People are... Go ahead.
Yeah, she said, I need to talk to more people, not that you need to talk to more people.
Right? She said, I got 2 double sinks, but I'm not budging. I'm not going anywhere. I need to talk to more people. Now, what did the daughter do? You already talked to people. What does that tell me? This is the relationship. Mom's hard-headed, and the daughter's just got to sit here in the passenger seat and deal with it. Right? But eventually, she still folded it. Yeah, okay, but we'll do it. It's this situation. So, Ed, this was a perfect example. Do you see what I mean now? You asked about this earlier. Are you seeing the example here of how profile building can become helpful?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Because how did I know? How did I know the type of person the mom was by listening to her say 3 words?
She sounded stern.
She sounded stern. And you do the math on the rest. A stern person is what kind of a person in their life? All right, how does that impact their family? right? We've all seen these stories or we've lived these stories and we know someone who has. It doesn't take that long when you start thinking with this part of your brain to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And then you now know how I need to tailor my communication because I know the environment that I'm in. That just confirmed to me that this lady is not my advocate. She's not going to listen. I'm negotiating with the wrong person. The mom ain't even listening. Now that I hear that, I'm probably not even getting the mom on the phone, but I got to change the whole environment here. Because if I don't change the environment that I am, I just realized I'm losing everything. I'm about to lose this call. I got to change everything. This woman, I lost her a long time ago. She not listening. I have not engaged with her. She thinks she's shopping offers. I need to tell her why that's not what she's doing, but I can't even talk to her. I need to pattern interrupt this situation, and I need to regain control of this conversation, or I'm not getting anywhere. I'm just going to hope that my offer is better than everybody else's. And that's not how you do business successfully. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, let's hear it up.
Okay, so you want, what I said before, 75 or 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
For you, I mean, the rest is paying off, they pay off the mortgage and that.
Okay.
I just gave up $12,000. It's more than, the other place is giving you 13,000. Huh? That other guy just wanted to, yeah, I know. Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying right here, Ed? Pause it. You know what I'm saying right here? Here's what I'm doing right now. Because at this point, I've said this before. You might have heard me say this on other calls that you've heard me on. What are the two most important things in any conversation? Usually.
Confidence.
Okay.
Give me a hint.
Well,
I have
the-
heard you say something.
for-
Yeah, CNC, confidence, and shit, I want to say communication.
That would be a good guess. But in this particular example, that's not it. That's just a foundational assumption. That's a given.
That is what
Control. Control.
control.
You got to stay in
So
control.
Control what?
Confidence and control.
Control.
You had confidence, right?
Oh, confidence and control.
Yep. So let me ask you this. Do you lack in the confidence department?
I don't know. That's a great question. I think at times, yeah, I probably do, but at other times I may sound confident and may even be confident. So I don't know. I guess it depends.
That's the more nuanced version of this answer. What I will tell you is this: you present confident. And so for the sake of how it sounds to the seller, you're good in that department. There's definitely stuff that we could talk about, but that's a way different conversation. But as it presents to the seller, you sound competent. You sound like you know what you're doing. That serves you. However, it only serves you as much as you're able to keep control of the conversation. Right here, they're showing you you've lost control of the conversation. I think you lost it when you didn't get the mom on the phone. I think you lost it for real when you went down the questioning of the repairs, because if you're not on speaker, which it doesn't sound like you are, all the mom heard was silence. And if she was paying attention, she stopped paying attention. But she may not have been paying attention in the first place, right? So you now have no control. Like, do you agree? You have no control over what's happening here. You're just asking questions.
Yeah, I agree.
So you need to get the control back. If you want to get anywhere in this thing, that control has to come back to you. So in this particular situation, I'm going to say, okay, so hold on one second. Can you do me a favor? Let me ask you a question. All right, what was your name again? Diane?
Yeah, Diane.
I say, Diane, real quickly. Are you by chance on a cell phone or is this a house phone? And then I'm going to say, okay, are you able to put this on speaker? If she says yes, which I would hope that she could, what I would have done, I said, do me a favor, put this on speaker, right? We're at an important part of the conversation. I want to make sure that we're not playing the telephone game on this situation, right? And I would have engaged her mom. What's her mom's name?
else or ills, something like that.
Okay. I don't usually call people Mr. or Mrs. I very rarely do because it's a status thing. It's a control thing. It's a frame control thing. It's just a psychological thing that you got to do in sales, unfortunately. Exceptions where I will is elderly people. I will call them sir or ma'am because I think it's an acceptable form of respect that you can show that doesn't diminish your stance or status in the conversation. So in this situation, I might have said Miss So-and-so, right? Miss Ilse, Miss whatever her last name is. Okay, can you hear me okay? Okay, fantastic. Talk with me a little bit. I'm having a good conversation with your daughter. I want to make sure I can help you or not. Let's see if we're a fit for each other. And I'm pulling way back with this lady. Why? Because she's already dictating control. She's trying to stay in control of the conversation. I need to let her know she's not. That's the nature of this beast, and it sounds rough. But I promise you this, a person will lose money on their house. They will lose their house to foreclosure. They will go down really, really bad roads. We've heard it a million times for their pride. If we want to help people, we have to be willing to do the things that are necessary to bring their wall down and trust us. And unfortunately, that requires us sometimes to be willing to be strong, even to an elderly person, and draw that line in the sand. We need to regain that control. We need to shift that paradigm and let them know all these other people you're talking about are fine. They're fantastic, but they're not me. And if you want to get this problem done, I need you to understand that I'm the one that solves it for you. Now, maybe you don't say those words, but that vibe needs to be communicated. If you're going to get a person who you've never actually spoken with, who literally just told you she ain't doing business with you until she talks to another 100 people. The only way you're winning that situation is if you get her to realize there's no reason to talk to anybody else. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
So what I'm doing is I'm saying, Miss So-and-so, okay, do me a favor. I've been having a real good conversation with your daughter. She's given me some really helpful information. What I'm trying to do right now is find out if I can even help you. I need to find out if we're even a fit. It sounds like you have some other options. Is that correct? Yeah, I have some other options. Okay. And you've got $13,000 for an offer? Yeah, I got $13,000. Okay, great. Any other offers? No, yes. Interesting to me. It sounds like you're wanting somewhere around 75,000 or more. Is that correct? Hear what she says. We don't know. We're assuming. She hasn't told us that yet, but I need to know that number. And then I'm going to say, well, that's really interesting to me. Let's assume it's 70,000. You want 70,000, but the people are offering you 13. Why do you think that is? This is where you're going to find out if you're going to engage this woman or not. I would give a greater than 80% likelihood that you do. Why? Because you're attacking her pride at this point. You're not attacking it, but you're poking at it a little bit. And she's not about to be pushed around. And so because she doesn't want to be pushed around and you've just tried to maintain dominance in the conversation, she is going to play along. She's going to respond to your question because she wants you to know she knows her stuff, right? And that's what you want her to do. You want her to engage in the conversation. This is why you get her to engage in this fashion. So walk me through why you think that is. Oh, I don't really care. Those people don't know what they're talking about. $13,000 is crazy. I got double sinks. Fantastic. You and your double sinks deserve an extra $70,000. You're 100% correct, right? Obviously, I'm not saying that. But what I'm doing is I'm listening to what she's saying. Because right there, Ed, everything that she responds in that conversation, right there, that's where you need to be. That is where the sauce is. She's gonna show you her hand in that conversation right there. She's either gonna tell you how close or far that $13,000 was, or she's gonna tell you why they're crazy that she needs to be at $100,000 or $125,000. Do we agree? We need to know both of those, right? Because if she's close to $13,000, well, now I know where my anchor's at. Now I'm like, okay, I get you. So we're not having a $75,000 conversation. That's reassuring because obviously we know the numbers are going to be what they are. So 13,000 isn't good for you. I don't know that I can beat 13,000, but what makes you happy? Like what solves the problem for you? I'm just curious. I'm still not bending. I'm still not making an offer yet. I'm not even telling her I'm interested at this point. At this point, I'm just curious. Okay, I want this and I want that and I want the next thing. And then from there, I'm redirecting the conversation. With a person like this, you can never let them know you're interested. You cannot. Because the second they think you're interested, they think they're in control. And now because you're in the wind waiting, they got options that they're going to go pursue. I'm not letting you know I'm interested. I'm not even sure I can buy this house. At this point, I'm just trying to help you out. I'm going to do you a favor. You're welcome. And unfortunately, that sounds arrogant. but with a very, very, very strong personality, you have to meet them where they are. You got to be strong with them. That's not rudeness, that's respect. You're respecting how they communicate, and you're communicating at their frequency. You're communicating at their level. This is where communication is so much more important than just questions or one-liners, because you're dealing with humans. And so when you read this about this lady, I think at that point, bro, my opinion is once she goes back and forth and explains everything, I'm going down the road of, okay, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been in this industry for a while. I've heard X. I'm not scorching the earth. I don't think scorching the earth is the best scenario here. I think oftentimes scorching the earth can actually hurt, especially newer people, unless you're extremely established. Scorching the earth can hurt you more than it helps you. But there are other things you can do. One example in this particular situation is I'm going to be like, okay, well, look, here's why they're offering you this. Here is my concern for you. And then I'm going to start sowing seeds. And then maybe I hit her with the, if I could, would you at the end. I'm not going to tell you what that could look like because we're getting way too far in the hypotheticals. What I do know is that I think if you do the reset right here, you get her engaged, you challenge her to get the variable of the $13,000 offer versus what she wants. I think that's where you get the sauce and you know what your next steps are. Make sense?
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. But yeah.
Awesome. Do you have any questions? Is there anything about that you disagree with?
No, absolutely not. It makes perfect sense, man. You know, she was right there. That's like the one time over here. Clearly, I should have definitely got her on the speakerphone right then and there.
Yeah. How's comment? So yeah, that's where I'm going with it. I think we all kind of know where this goes from here. If you've been here long enough, you should know where this goes from here. But let's play it out. Let's hear it.
He just scheduled with my daughter when she gets off work, and but this is what she got your things in the mail and she wanted to check it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what does she feel would be a fair price?
Like 75. I mean, collect y'all pay off the $75,000 note she had, or whatever she had.
Okay. She wants to walk away with like 75 in her pocket.
It's not what I heard.
Yeah. You know how much it costs?
It has a porch, it has two bedrooms, three, two sides, one sink, the other sink. It's a big house, 1,800 square feet, rolling down.
Yes, he knows, it's on, everybody knows that.
Let me take it back.
Okay. So, let's talk about it over tonight, and then, I'll call you tomorrow and let you know something. Or this week sometime and let you know something.
Okay. So you don't know what you want for the property?
No, I mean, none of us are real estate people. We don't have any clue what to do. So.
Pause it. Bro, this is right here. This is where you go in and you prove to her why you are the real estate person and why they need to stop talking to a bunch of strangers, right? You going to talk to a bunch of people on the street to find out how you need to get your health taken care of? Or are you going to talk to somebody who does this every single day, right? Like that's where you should have jumped in had you not done it before and re-solidified this, right? This is the direction I would have gone down. Why do you need to be working with me versus everybody else? She literally just proved to you that's what she needs. She just said that's what she needs. She needed someone to take control. She needed someone to guide them and to show them what happened, right? My prediction game on this conversation is doing pretty good. This is good for my self-esteem. All right, let's finish it out. Also, that accent sounds like Eastern European. Maybe Al. Is this is a Hebrew lady? I need you to listen. Let your accents.
Her last name's Milligan or Mulligan.
Mulligan? That sounds like Irish,
Mulligan,
Scottish.
Like that.
What was her first name?
Else or else.
That's I'm going.
Western European.
That's,
I would say Irish. I don't know.
like Rodolfo type of.
Rodolfo's Western European for sure.
It's Hills with a
Hills. Something like
ILSD.
That sounds Eastern European.
Indian or could be.
I have no idea. I just know her last name is Mulligan or Belligan.
Maybe. All right. Let's play it out before they hang up on you.
Did you say something? Is that a good bid or what?
70, 75?
Yeah, plus the 75, you know.
How's that on here, so?
I know it's there nice. It was picked up. Yeah.
Yeah, she could probably get that if she comes up pocket and fixes the property herself and sells it on the market.
Yeah.
As an agent. That,
Yeah.
you know, getting top dollar for main objective, and I encourage her to do that. That'll be the way to go for sure. There's no doubt about it. But if she wants to go as is, you know, I don't want to sound jerk here, but
She's not listening. She's just saying, yeah.
taking
No, I
consideration the condition that it's in, and you know, we're gonna have to,
Yeah.
not me, but the partner, they'll have to put some money into it to, you know, bring it back up to
Yeah.
2024,
We watch some remodel shows on TV.
Mhm.
We know you gotta do. Okay, so we'll talk about it tonight and I'll give you a call tomorrow
Okay, sounds good.
or in the next few days,
Sure.
okay?
Sounds good.
And we love you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Final thoughts. Ed, hit me.
I need you to hit me. I need the feedback.
All right, before I do that, Mitch, give me your thoughts on the whole thing. My thoughts are give your whole thing, bro.
I mean, yeah, I like it definitely wasn't a situation where this process that we've been using works. And it's actually weird what the end result is on the call the next day, because there's some confusion on their part because they end up accepting our offer. But yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, I'm not sure that's why I'm in this group now, because I'm not sure how we differentiate from when this process just doesn't work. But what ends up happening is we offer her, because what they ended up saying, because what they told our lead manager is she wanted to clear 70 after the lien. So they really wanted 145. We ended up offering her 114. She accepts it. And then we get to the purchase agreement and she realizes that she's not walking away with 114,000. And that's where we end up losing it. But yeah, like as to where the call went wrong, I would love to hear your feedback, because I don't know how to.
Did you hear the feedback I was giving throughout?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's where the call. That's where it went wrong, bro. That's it. There ain't nothing magical about it. It's literally what I just told you. The reason why I stopped it as I went is because what I'm telling you is that in every conversation, Luke said, "I've never heard such a hard read by Dickie." I appreciate you, bro. In every conversation, bro, it's just like a quest, right? There's so many different journeys, and every decision that you make opens up a different road. The cool thing about communication is you can redirect at any point. If what, Mitch? Guess. If what? You can redirect if what? Throw a guess.
If the situation allows it.
No, incorrect. That's what most people think. That's what new people think. The answer is if you are skilled enough to redirect it. It's always up to you. 99 times out of 100, it's up to you. There's going to be variables you can't control, right? So 99 is even probably a little bit generous. Let's say 90%, right? It's always up to you, though, because even in the impossible ones, you could probably have done something. There's going to be some people you just can't work with, and that just is what it is. But if I find those people, I want to know for a fact that I left it all on the field and there was nothing I could have done. In this situation, that's not one of those situations. By definition, if they accepted an offer and then realized it was a wrong offer, this is a communication issue. Not a process issue. It's a communication issue. And this is why I don't teach processes. I teach communication, because everything in life, when you're dealing with other human beings, almost always boils down to a communication issue. And if you can resolve those issues and bridge that gap because you're skilled enough, now what you do is when you're in a quest, you're on a journey, you're in a conversation, and you find yourself on a road, and you find yourself that you made a left where you should have made a right, you can course correct because you're skilled enough to do so. And if you're skilled enough, they won't even realize you made a mistake. This is where skill about communication. So when you hear me giving the edits, all I'm doing is I'm telling you, this is the road I would have taken. Why? Because it was the better road. Respectfully, it was the better road. And I don't mean this to sound arrogant. I don't want to sound arrogant because I've said repeatedly, even today, that you can always be wrong. I can always be wrong. You have to acknowledge that you can be wrong, or you're never going to really get good at this. However, the more you realize that, the more you learn people, the more you're able to, by listening to 2 words out of someone's mouth, you know everything you need to know about this person 8 times out of 10. And then you course correct from there, right? And so I knew that me understanding that, because I was profile building instead of fact finding, it changed everything. Now I'm bringing the mom in, who's the decision maker. I'm getting my advocate on my team, who's going to be able to work with me and go when they get off the phone and the mom's yelling at me. I'm not worried about that. I'm expecting that. If I can win the mom on the phone, fantastic. That's what I'm going for. But here's the thing. People are going to people. So when people, and she goes off and she gets all strong on me and wants to flex, if I made sense and I communicated effectively, I'm good still. Why? Because when I hang up that phone, the daughter's going to be like, he's right. You should have listened to him. You know, you're not going to get anything else. The other person will ask, right? This is where effective communication and profile building properly, so you're reading the situation, becomes exceptionally powerful, because now I just control the environment. This was a simple communication error, bro. So when I put these things out there, the feedback that I gave is what should have been course corrected.
Yeah.
It's what should have been course corrected. It's just a matter of A, being willing to acknowledge, all right, let's go down that road. And then B, what's that journey look like? Am I comfortable enough going down that road? So for you guys, is how do I want to do this? One, do I want to keep my process and add these things on top? Or do I want to say, all right, let me just say, pause to the process and just try a new way for a while and see how nervous it makes me, or see how uncomfortable it is, or see how well I do with it. I think you could do either. I think either one works. I think if you really, really want to just stick to something and you want to stick with your process, but start some of the feedback that I gave Ed today. Ed, was the feedback helpful in the little spots where I was like, no, you should have said this? Why didn't you capitalize on the relationship? Why didn't you dig in a little bit more? Why didn't you build more rapport? Was that helpful, like in your head, to be able to say, I'm taking note so I know what to look for when it happens again?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I appreciate that. You know, that's what I need.
There you go. So that's my feedback, Matt. Mitch, thoughts?
Yeah, I think this call was before we hopped on a call with you. I think it was last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna try to start up from ground zero, and if we can incorporate stuff from the old system, then that's great. But we definitely want to do whatever works the best every time. So whatever that ends up being, it's really up there at this point.
Yeah, love that. And Ed, bro, you're doing the work, man, and you got a good presence about you. You come off strong, right? But you're good at tapering it a little bit. You're good at toning it down to kind of diffuse the situation and make people feel not extremely overwhelmed. But there's definitely more nuance that you can add to the situation, which will come. But I'm excited to kind of see how this evolution works for you guys and work with you guys to kind of build it out the way it needs to be, especially with the rest of this year with this challenge that we're doing, really helping people work through deals. Like, let's just do the calls together, bring them here, right? Whatever you don't, if you can make it live and unmute, make it live. Great. Then we'll just I'll throw you some comments in the chat and you can just kind of course correct from there. But if not, we'll just do this. We'll listen back to the call and we'll go through it.
Cool. So yeah, like Nick said, I think she ended up calling me back that day. She said she wanted to talk over with her daughter, and we did make him an offer. They accepted, but kind of like what Kate said, I don't know if maybe they misinterpreted what I was saying. Like, hey, you know, you're gonna walk away with this minus tax, mortgage, liens, anything that's owed against the property. The remains what you walk away with. I don't know if they were thinking that they were going to walk away with what told them the property qualified for, right? Or if they just wanted us to send them an agreement to shop it, because once I got them on the purchase agreement call, you know, everything went smooth up until the end. She asked me, where does it say that you guys pay the mortgage? I was like, line 1. It's right there, line 1. She, okay, let me review this. So, yeah, that's where.
Yeah, that's actually not a technical issue. That's a communications issue, right? Because if you guys are on the same page, when I'm having conversations with people, it's like, okay, here's what we're doing, here's what we're offering. Are you on board with that? We're extremely clear. I don't know what y'all's process is. What is y'all's process? Do y'all email contracts and wait for them to sign? How do you guys do that?
No. So our process, we present the offer. If they say yes, then I set the expectation, okay, this is gonna happen next. I'm gonna type it up, call you back, 5-minute call, we're gonna review it. Any questions at the end, you authorize it, and we get to work.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So we can talk about ways to, there's a couple of ways I can think you can tailor the wording of that.
Obviously not in those words, I would just,
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. So that being said, here's what I'll say, man. Like for me, if I'm presenting an offer to somebody, I'm having such a clear and honest conversation with them. We're breaking it down. We're talking about the whole things. Okay, what do you need? What's this with that? Okay. So I've gone through, here's the problem with just a process-based offer. Oh, I did the math. Okay, here's your offer and here's cash to you. There's a lot of room for interpretation there because what you're doing is presenting an offer. I don't really present offers. I have conversations that turn into potential offers. Well, that sounds similar, but I promise you it's different because if I'm having a conversation with you and you're walking me through the whole situation and I'm explaining the whole process that I go through and we're talking about what you need, and then you're telling me, hey, yeah, you know what I really want is I want to make sure that this lien is paid out, that's $75,000, and I was really hoping to walk away with 50. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Well, what if you can't walk away with 50, right? If I'm doing 75, what's 75 plus, no. So she was looking to walk away with 75, right? And then now you're offering her to walk away with, what is it? 38, I think is what it was, right? Well, then you could just be like, well, what if I can only have you walk away with 30, right? Now you're having such a detailed conversation about what really matters that it reduces the likelihood of confusion. But if you're just like, well, here's my offer, I'm going to offer you 114. Okay, great. Now that makes sense why they would be confused as to what's actually happening here, because it's not conversation focused, it's offer focused. But these will be things that we work through. If they didn't understand the offer, that's usually a communication issue. Sometimes it's because of them, but I would argue in this particular situation, it's just because of the circumstance and the way you guys have your process set up. But we'll work through it, bro. I'm excited to work through this with you guys.
Cool. So what do you suggest we do next? Right now I'm gonna follow up, they sign, so I void the contract and I follow up, which the way we do it is I'll call them in 2 weeks.
I would never wait 2 weeks on a situation like this.
So how long do you wait?
I'm gonna call her today. When was the last time you talked to her?
That day they didn't sign the contract.
Which
I sent her a text, call back, she didn't answer. Didn't respond to the text. So I took it as no.
And you just haven't talked. Dang, bro. Wow. Okay. And what day was that?
Would you take it if you made an offer and
I don't make offers. I say I don't make offers. I make if I could, would you?
Okay, well, let's just say hypothetically. And if they say, well, let me think about it, or
if
they don't answer, would you take that as a no?
No. Well, no, I definitely would not. I'm not making assumptions about 5-figure decisions, 6-figure decisions. I'm getting clarity on that. So I definitely would not make an assumption. I'm just not reading. I'm not in that situation. Yeah, it is probably what it means, but I'm still not going down that road because I'm going to be diligent and I'm going to make them realize, yo, you're ghosting me on a multiple 6-figure situation, right? And there's roads you can go down with that. But to answer your question specifically, let's say I'm on the phone with them. I've made an offer. I'm going through the offer, or I'm going through the agreement, and they're telling me, "No, I'm not interested," or "I need to think about this anymore. I need to go think about this now." My response to her is this: I would say, "I'm so sorry. What's confusing? We discussed this. Oh, I thought, like, how did that conversation go when they said they needed to think about it?"
So yeah, they just asked me, where does it say that you will pay the mortgage balance? Right there on line one. And so they're like, well, we're gonna review this, let's review it, and it's now calling you back, which obviously didn't happen, right?
What did you say when they said that?
I just asked them, what other questions did they have? Is there anything I can clarify for them? And they're like, no, that was it.
Now, so just to give you feedback, so that is a customer service response, right? I'm not asking you if I can answer any questions. I'm kind of requiring that you give me clarity, right? I'm so sorry. I'm confused. I was under the impression when I put this agreement together, we were signing the agreement today. What changed? And let's say she says, oh, well, I need to think about this. I need to think about that. Just to get clarity. No. Right. At this point, you've now taken my time. At this point, you're breaking an agreement to me. And now I'm rethinking if I want to do business with you. And I'm subtly starting to bring that tone into the conversation. Wait, just to get clarity, right? Like, I just want to be really, really clear. Where did things get misunderstood, right? Because I'm a direct communicator. I'm not going to let you get off the phone without understanding the situation if I can avoid it. Okay, they're going to explain to me the whole situation. And if they still insist on getting off the phone, I'm going to say, just to be clear, let me just, and this is where I'm going to draw the line in the sand. Who were you talking to at this point? Daughter still?
Yeah, well, no, this time I had both of them on the feed.
Perfect. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, ladies, respectfully, this is not how I do business. I'm really, really big on keeping commitments that I make. I like to do business with people that do the same, right? You do not have to sell your house to me, and I respect that. But I did take time out of my day so I could do business with you guys because I thought we were on the same page. It sounds like we're not. If you don't want to sign, that's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to void this contract, and then you can let me know when you're ready to actually be serious about moving forward with the property. Is that fair? And then I'm using that. I'm taking the offer away, not you, bro. I'm taking that away. They need to know they have something to lose, because if they think it's always going to be there, they're going to treat you like it's always going to be there. And they're going to go right back into the searching around and shopping your offer thing. You got to be willing to walk away. Then people say, well, yeah, but what if you lose the deal? You lost the deal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So that's how I would have handled that. Like, if I'm in your situation at that point, you're telling me what's going on right now, or I'm going to say, I appreciate you, but best of luck. Right. And I have recorded calls and that I've done where I've done this with people, and they will oftentimes, not every time, oftentimes they'll be like, wait, yo, hold on. Right. Because unfortunately, we just live in a world where people do not tell the truth all the time. Or maybe it was just as simple as they had a real honest confusion that they wanted to get clarity on. And if you had pushed to let them give you clarity on the phone call, they might have just signed. But they got off the phone, they talked about it, somebody came over, then they went and did this, and they went and got dinner, and then all of a sudden, and 2 days later, they're like, oh, here, let's go over the contract. Then they get a phone call, they're getting a better offer, right? It could have just been that simple. See what I mean?
Yeah, that's
okay. So yeah, that's it, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun to walk through the process with you guys. I would call her back. I would just call her back today and just be like, and I would still do a takeaway thing. Guys, I'm really confused at what happened. We allocated resources to help you guys get a deal done. Now, not only did it just seems like you guys have gone off the radar. I'm not required to purchase your property. I'm happy to go and allocate my resources elsewhere. It would be nice if you guys just did me the courtesy of letting me know if I need to do that. Something along those lines. There's a million ways you could phrase that and tweak that out, but I'm still reaching out to them like I'm the one breaking up with them, because psychologically, unfortunately, it's just the approach that you have to take.
cool.
I bet. And then if they don't answer, shoot them a text, let them know, see what happens. Dope. Nathan, where'd you call, dog? Why your knee all hairy up in the screen, bro?
Yeah, put it in the chat a little while as on my computer. Computer audio, see if that helps.
No, that's cool. You want me to do all the work? That's fine. No, I got you, bro. I already got it shared, dude. I'll share it. Do you have the ability to share it?
What do you mean?
Wait, hold on.
Like in the chat?
No, hold on.
Hello?
Can y'all hear that? Let go.
Can you hear it?
Hey, Nate, this is Nathan. My partner said you were trying to sell your property on West Tenth Street. I
Yes,
just
sir.
wanted to, I just wanted to get some info on that. You have a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, great, yeah. So, what's got you wanting to sell?
I'm retired, getting ready to hit the road in my RV, and my daughter's, just wanting to get out from under it because she can't afford it without me here.
All right. Question number 1. Why did you ask her if she had a minute? And don't tell me you don't know.
I wanted to place unnecessary objections into the conversation.
That's fantastic. That's the right answer. But psychologically, in the moment, why did you do it?
I don't know. It just seems like disarming. Like it seemed like, hey, like.
Remember when I said don't?
It seemed like better than like, is this a bad time for you? Because like it's like it prepares them like that they're about to have a
Remember
10-minute conversation.
Remember when I said don't say I don't know, because I knew that your answer was going to be I don't know. Why? Because I knew that you're just going by whatever you feel in the moment. You're not being intentional. Common theme. You keep just doing whatever feels more comfortable in the moment instead of what's right and taking a principled approach and an intentional approach towards doing this. I knew why.
Okay.
I just wanted to go through the process of asking the question. You gotta stop doing that, bro. If you keep changing what you do every single time because it feels appropriate for that time, you're going to struggle a lot.
Okay. So do I be like, hey, like, is that still the case? You're still trying to sell your property? And I say yes. And then they say, and then I just go into, okay, cool. What's got you selling?
You're in the closers collective, right?
Yeah,
Did you know I did a 2.5 hour training on intros?
I did. I thought it was, I forgot what happened. I gotta go back. I'm going over the Rocky Balboa stuff right now. So
All right. Glad said it, bro. Like, I really get into the full detailed nuance. It doesn't make sense to repeat it here. I would genuinely recommend just watching it. Whatever you do, dude, I would like it if you followed the advice in the training. I would. But even if you don't, I need you to pick something and stick to it. So at least you have some sort of trackable reasoning behind whether or not you're succeeding. Because if what you do changes every time, we have no way to track what's working. Make sense?
Okay. My main takeaway from that, from what I remember, was like, there's some certain things not to do, but like whatever you do, like there's pros and cons to each thing. And so I remember us going over that. But is there anything wrong with asking him like, hey, is that still the case? And then being like, cool, what's got you selling?
Perfect. That's fine. Just don't ask how they're doing. Don't ask if they have time. Introduce yourself. Ask, hey, heard you were trying to sell those properties. That's still the case. Perfect. What's going on? That's great. If you want to do that, that works. Okay. Next question. Somebody give me a profile. See if y'all were even paying attention. And now 3 minutes later, if you can do it. Y'all gonna learn to give me right answers when it comes to profiling.
Sounded old and
she sounded old.
No, what was that? Was that Midwestern? She sounded like a Missouri seller, but my accents aren't that strong. But you sound like all of the ladies that DQ talked to. I told him to.
All of the sellers you sent me.
Is that the right accent, or am I completely off?
I'll respond in a minute to that. Anybody else?
She sounded like a little bit like the seller we just had, just I would say way lower level. Like she still fits that category, just not as intense.
Okay. Who else? What else?
That intro was a smoke screen too.
Really? Nobody?
Bro, we can't tell, like, you hear 5 seconds and you know what their favorite color is.
Not with that attitude, you can't.
Not yet.
Did y'all already listen to Nathan's call?
Yeah, we're listening to it right now. Ed, here's what we're doing, bro. We're gonna listen to the first 30 seconds of this call. Nobody else is participating the way they're supposed to. We only got 2 answers on this. We're profile building. 30 seconds. I want you to take your shot at building a profile. Tell me a little bit about this woman after we listen to the first 30 seconds. Yeah?
I'll give it a shot. But
Let's go.
I'm supposed to say.
You figured out. Just read the room. Tell me who she is. That's it. None difficult about that. Here we go.
Hello. Hey, May, this is Nathan. My partner said you were trying to sell your property on West F Street.
Yes,
I just
sir.
wanted to get some info on that. Do you have a minute?
Yeah.
All right, great. Yeah. So, what's got you wanting to sell?
I'm retired, getting ready to hit the road in my RV, and my daughter's just wanting to get out from under it because she can't afford it without me here.
Ed, what you got, dog?
I bet she's ready to party.
Sounds like she's ready to party.
I bet she's in a bowling league.
Bowling league.
Bowling league.
What size shoe does she wear?
Probably an 8.
An 8. Why she got such big feet? I was going 6.5, but
6. I mean, I have size 6 feet. That's actually below average. I'd say like 7.5 average for women. So 8's not that big.
okay.
Yeah. Bowling league. I think she's probably a state employee. That's why she's retiring, or federal.
Interesting. Now we're starting a profile build. What makes you go down that road? Out of curiosity.
The smokiness to her voice makes me think bowling league. She's probably, I don't know, it's just an activity that I feel like a lot of smokers participate in based on personal experience. And she seems friendly enough, but she doesn't sound like super elderly to be retiring. So that's why I'm thinking she's probably been in a state job for 20, 25 years. And I mean, she just sounds motivated, ready to go. She's tired of that federal job.
He's knocked a few pins down in her career.
She uses Android, charges it at 12%.
Android, I mean, she has money. We've established that.
All right. So I like Kate's response. Ed, other than she's ready to party, that's it. That's all you got about the lady. Did Ed give up? Ed's pooping. She has a plan and she shared it up front. Anybody else? Somebody else with a profile. Steve.
I don't know, man. It definitely sounds like a smoker. I agree on that. So I agree on the party. It sounds like she gets down on some booze or some ketamine wine mixers.
Tell me you're from Missouri without telling me you're from Missouri.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, she's got the RV, so she's she's good with living on little. I don't know.
Interesting. Good with living on little. All right, Al, other than the fact that you've heard me talk to a lot of your Missouri sellers, what about this lady? What does that mean? If she sounds like the Missouri sellers or whatever it is that you said, what does that mean? What does that equal out to in description of the kind of person she has the likelihood of being?
Okay, so it's a little unfair now because when Nathan read out the address, I know exactly where that is. But your question is still the same question.
It is the same question. The question is not changed.
What do we know about them? They're not easy to gain their trust, especially if you're on the phone with them. They're going to be nice. they don't really like playing games. They like people who are up front. They don't need sugarcoating.
Her pronouns are she.
That's a singular pronoun. That's a pronoun.
Yeah. If you can make them laugh, you're already doing good. They're probably smarter than you think they are, and have more experience than you think they are. They probably were a salesman for 20 or a saleswoman for 20 years without you knowing of it. It's just gonna pick up on every little tactic you're gonna try to do. So you just have to, kind of keep it, genuine and straightforward. And let them know. Oh, one last thing. Let them know that, as far as she's checking you out, you're checking her out at the same time, making sure she's doing like she's.
You want to see you want to see if she's hot?
Yeah.
I told her I'm checking you out.
If you don't start your calls and include "I'm checking you out" in the first 5 minutes, you're doing it wrong. All right. Anybody else? Ed, are you hearing all of this craziness, bro? Or are you still pooping?
What was that?
Are you hearing all of this stuff?
I heard some of it.
Did you hear Al?
No, I missed what he said.
He's the one that just talked, bro. Who did you hear?
I think I heard Kate.
Okay. What do you think about Kate's rendition? What are your thoughts? Is she crazy? Is she onto something?
Well, no, it's very detailed. Like, I don't know if she picked up all that, but it does sound like she may be kind of accurate. She may be a smoker.
Interesting. How do you not know how she picked up on it, but yet simultaneously have a sense that she may be accurate?
I mean, because after she said it, I said, okay, yeah, it makes sense. But, I think.
But why does it make sense? What in your brain is able to assimilate the likelihood of Kate's suggestion being having accuracy to it?
About her being a smoker?
Smoker, maybe career choices, any of the stuff, any of the things that you thought aligned.
Well, I guess I kind of disagree with the smoker part.
That's it? You don't think about anything else? Okay, cool.
As far as being in bowling league,
have you ever been in a bowling league?
I play bowling. I haven't been in a bowling league.
I don't think you play bowling. I think you bowl.
Handful of times, not a lot.
I don't think you can play bowling though.
No, I'm not an all-star. Yeah, last time I played, I won.
You don't play, bro. You bowl. The word play isn't involved.
Somebody invited me to a bowling alley, and I said, sure, let's go. And I won.
What was your score? Do you remember?
I know it was more than everybody else's. I know that.
By nature of winning, that is an accurate assertion. All right, bet. You got played hard by a Colombian girl last time you bowled. You got played. You got sharked at a bowling alley, bro? In Colombia?
I'm not even talking about the bowling, bro. It's worse than that. Like, think about how embarrassing it is. I mean, it wasn't really my fault, but my boy met this girl. And they wanted to go out, so they're like, "Hey, I'll bring my friend, you bring your friend, and we'll go on a double date." So what we did, we go bowling, bro. My girl starts ordering a ton of shit, bro. She doesn't even eat it, right? Because it's this cool bowling place with like food and drinks. It's a really high-end place. I didn't get that comment, Luke.
Yeah, never.
Anyways, girls eating. We're at the table. We're drinking. We're eating. Where girl just said, "Hey, my brother needs help with this. I gotta go." Okay, she goes. If she wants to go, I don't really care. Like, goodbye. Turns out, like, my boy found this out, like, I don't know, maybe a week or two later. Girl's lesbian.
Did she think
she just wanted free food?
She wanted free food. She texted me the day after if I want to go out to this restaurant, and I didn't reply.
You should give her an affiliate link to Closers Collective and she could start closing deals.
Bro, you had no shot.
I had no shot. I mean, good thing is I found out pretty quick, right? But still.
Imagine going on a date with a girl who likes women for 6 months just so she can get free food and you keep paying.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Always do the coffee on the first date. Keep it light.
Yeah. At least I didn't get robbed or killed or kidnapped. So
Also, you can discount what he said as much as you want. Luke's comment is a bar.
Colombian girl holds less weight in Colombia.
Yeah. Don't flex like you dating a Colombian girl, bro. The country's full of them. It's kind of your only option.
No, if I'd said girl, man, being like somewhere else. You know what I mean?
No. I don't know.
All I know is Luke spells Colombia with a U. Like a good American.
Solid.
Hey, I grew up in Columbia, Maryland, and that's how it's spelled. So there's a reason to my math.
Hey, did you ever date a Colombian girl?
I did in America.
Flex on that. Al? Imagine dating Colombian girls in America like Luke.
Where are they?
Maryland.
In Maryland.
In Columbia, Maryland. We just explained this. Why do you have a hard time? You have a very hard time keeping up with basic conversation, Al. Are you okay?
It feels like it's just with me too.
It is a definite thing with you. We can talk about what this means, Al, if you want, or if you think it's not appropriate to do.
I miss Luke.
I miss Luke, right? Tell me.
Too, man.
Like, it feels good having Luke. I forgot the smoke that Luke drops into the comments.
Yeah, man.
It's all right. Just don't lead us. Larry's like ADHD. Yeah, bro. It's really, really bad. Apologize, man. That being said, Al is currently still on antibiotics from the Colombian girls that he dates. And I don't know. It's okay. We're praying for him. That being said,
right in your day with stupid and funny stories.
It does. Okay. So all of the profile building, I'm not happy that as few people did the profile build as I would have liked. We're going to play it one more time and then we're going to recap.
Hello. Hey, babe, this is Nathan. My partner said you were trying to sell your property on West F Street.
Yes,
I just
sir.
wanted to get some info on that. You have a minute?
Yeah.
All right, great. Yeah. So what's got you wanting to sell?
I'm retired, getting ready to hit the road in my RV, and my daughter's just wanting to get out from under it because she can't afford it without me here.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations on retiring and getting out there. Are you planning on traveling the country?
Florida. For the winter, I know that.
Wait.
Okay.
Starting over.
Hello.
Hey, babe, this is Nathan. My partner said you were trying to sell your property on West F Street.
Yes,
I just wanted to get some info on that. You have a minute?
Yeah.
All right, great. Yeah. So what's got you wanting to sell?
I'm retired, getting ready to hit the road in my RV, and my daughter's just wanting to get out from under it because she can't afford it without me here.
Okay. All right.
So there we go. Profile build. I actually think a lot like Al and Kate are definitely on the right track. I don't know if it's a state employee. It's very possible. The fact that I do think she's probably in her mid 60s. That's my guess. But I think that she definitely had some sort of an income or some way to generate an income that had her be stable. The fact that she's retiring, it does imply some sort of a job like that, right? A lot of the diner and conversations that we have about some of the people that that's talking about is the case. This doesn't sound like that. So I could definitely see a state employee, or she worked for a good construction company and she handled the books or something like that. I could definitely see something like that. She probably has a couple of kids. Her daughter may have gone through a tough time. She's the mother hen. She's definitely the authority in the situation. That's why she's still looking out for her daughter. She's ready to get away from the whole entire thing. And then Al did a good job of, like, Al and Kate, you guys did a fantastic job of profile building this thing, right? because what you did is you got a grasp in 30 seconds of who you're talking to. Well, now you know how to direct the conversation. You know, with a lady like this, she's not dumb, but she also doesn't need to get a full breakdown of how real estate works. She needs enough for it to just make sense. Tell me why it's fair. Give me my options. Are you a person I can trust to do business with or not? She's definitely the type of person that's going to say, oh, well, I don't make decisions quickly. I got to take time to think about it. So you have to factor in overcoming that objection, right? But you guys nailed it, right? You guys did a fantastic job of building the profile. Okay, understanding that, being here as long as you have, having conversations with sellers as long as you have, even before this, do you see how understanding and factoring for this information can drastically change the way you approach and handle a conversation?
Absolutely, because I mean, she's not she's not an elderly lady that needs to take kid gloves who needs all of that explanation. So why am I going to waste that time potentially insulting her?
Yep.
By making her think I'm insulting her intelligence. She's ready to go. She's got her RV, and she shared a lot of information right there of why she wants to that's almost all the information you would need about why she's trying to sell.
That's it. Right. And there will be something that comes up down the road potentially about a family drama or a family issue that came up. If she shares that with you, you're on the right path of getting into the rapport conversation. To Al's point, Al, you went a little farther down the road than I would have in your assessment. You got a little bit past profile building, and then you got to conclusion finding, like you were jumping to conclusions. I wouldn't have gone that far with it, but I do agree on some of the base fundamentals, right? Like she is a person that, she's nice, she's trustworthy, right? But don't lie to her, just shoot her straight, be kind with her. And that's it. Like, this is the type of person you can get her laughing out of the gate. You have a good kind of conversation. This woman's got an RV. She's trying to live her best life. So me personally, I would be like, oh my gosh, where are you going? What's your plans? We did a whole RV trip last year because I did, right? So I would use that as an opportunity to build rapport. Obviously, not everybody can say that. So you could just say, oh, that's awesome. Where are you planning on going? Are you going to move? Or are you going to just be traveling around the country? Like, do you guys agree or disagree? Somebody who is literally owns an RV and is getting ready to travel is going to be excited to talk about their travels. This is something they're looking forward to. Would you guys agree that talking about that conversation is going to build immediate rapport? Right? So that's the direction I'm going. That's the direction I'm taking this thing. And I think it's going to open up a lot of stuff. That being said, we'll continue, but I wanted to talk about this is why this is important. 30 seconds into the conversation, and you should already know what direction to take it. Let's see what Nathan did.
Well, congratulations on retiring and getting out there. Are you planning on traveling the country?
Florida.
I know that. Okay, yeah. You're going to officially become a snowbird.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so she's got some bass in her voice. She's showing curt answers. What does that tell me? She's a little strong. She's a little bit driven. She's, if we want to give a number color, maybe a little bit more towards red. I'm starting to pick that up a little bit. We'll see. Let's see how she plays this out. I'm still gathering though.
What? Did you know how much you were looking to get for the property?
About 75,000.
Okay. How did you get that number?
Well, it's like a range is out at 118,000.
Okay.
So I'm figuring, that's not half, but it's not under half either.
Right. What?
I mean, there's a little wiggle room there, put it like that, but.
Yeah, definitely. What keeps you from listing it at 118?
It needs a bathroom remodel and like the flooring. It's not bad flooring. It's got hardwood floors in it, but when they redid the kitchen, they didn't join the two, so it's kind of a bare. It's easy enough to fix, but it's it's just gonna. What do I say? Like the.
Was that a smoker cough? That was a smoker cough.
The two different floorings come together, but the one cheap shit is chipping away, And the bathroom needs to go, like, I told the bath, the tub over the bath thing that they have these days, I don't know what you call it. And, the tub bath, and basically they're in a new floor.
Okay. How many bathrooms does it have?
It's got one bathroom. It is 3 bedrooms with a laundry room. The living room kitchen is basically an open air with an island in the center. And then the 3rd bedroom is virtually a whole another master bedroom, which looked to us when we bought it was like an addition to the original house. I don't necessarily know if that's true. It's with a slab. What do you call that? What under the crawl under it? Yeah, there you go. But and a nice, big, huge garage that's not connected. Fenced yard. Driveway, obviously, but 2-car big garage. Yeah, that's about basically the logistics there.
Okay, is there anything major, like any foundation issues, electrical?
No, nothing we're aware of.
Okay, no leaks or flooding?
No, no, not at all.
Do you know when the last time the roof was changed?
Maybe in the last 5 to 7 years.
Okay. And what's the timeline if you're getting the number that you want? What's the when
As soon as possible.
Okay. Did you already retire?
Yes, sir.
What were you doing before that?
Paralegal.
Okay. Were you doing that for your whole life, or were you not doing a job?
Virtually all my life, since I was 21 years old.
Okay, wow. Well, congrats. That's probably a good feeling, I imagine.
Yes, sir.
All right, Nathan, is this feeling like an organic, genuine conversation or a checklist of questions that you're supposed to ask to sound like you care when you really don't care?
I'm just trying to figure out what a real human being would ask. I don't know how to show genuine empathy. I'm like a recovering sociopath.
I'm a recovering sociopath.
So
if you
I
have
don't know
to,
how the
explain that it was a joke, there's your first
I'm just
indication.
trying to outline the problem here. It's breaking the fourth wall. So I don't know what people say in normal conversations. So I'm just trying to, I'm an only child, trying to figure out what people talk about.
Are you just going down the list of excuses to be socially awkward?
Yeah, well, whatever the reason is, we don't need to get into the reason. We've diagnosed the socially awkwardness, so I
Okay.
don't know what to say. Like
We?
oh cool, paralegal, like you want to sue me or something? I don't know what to say, I feel like I'd write a good script about the conversation.
You want to
Yeah,
have a
but-
script ready on how to respond if someone tells you that they're retiring as a paralegal? It's
No,
an
but, like,
important tool to have in your belt.
I think I would be a good screenwriter. And so, but I'm trying to be a closer. So I feel like I want to get over the screenwriter thing and be genuine and organic, but I just don't know how.
You chose the harder path. Okay. I'm not even going to respond to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so and is your daughter gonna have a place to go, or is she gonna need to stay there for a while?
Well, a couple, 10 days maybe, she could be out.
Okay, nice. Yeah. And yeah, is there anything else that the house needs in terms of repairs, or is that?
Well, doors. I mean, like my grandson's room, the door's a piece of shit. I mean, but that's nothing, major. Yeah, no, I mean, I can't think of anything major other than what the bathroom.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. That's why.
And I would send you some pictures if you like.
Yeah, that would be great. That'd be great
Okay.
if you text them or email them.
Okay, let me get my pen. I mean, well, I prefer to email because I'm an old fashion dumb lady that doesn't really know how to check the pictures.
Your email
Go
works
ahead.
perfectly fine.
Okay, and the email is?
It's Nate, Nate, like my name,
Mhm.
at Blue Pine Estates. That's BLU Pine, PINE,
Mm-hmm.
and then ESTEATES.
BLU, that's BLUPINE estates all together, correct?
Yeah, BLUE. Blue,
Okay.
the word pine, and then estates plural.
Okay. At Gmail?
No, it's Nate at bluepineestates.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I will. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then are you the only one that's on the title?
No, we're both on, my daughter and I are both on.
You guys are both willing and on the same page?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And she's willing to sell it as soon as you are?
Pretty much, yep.
And is there a mortgage still in the house?
Yeah, I think it's about $54,000 or $48,000 maybe.
Okay.
Which obviously would come out of. Huh?
Is she on the mortgage as well?
Yes.
Okay.
But basically, our plan would be to pay them off, and out of the proceeds, and boom, be done.
Right. Okay. No, that makes sense too. Well, let me get with my partner too, and then I'll expect your email with some of the photos. I'll try to get back to you.
But I will. Yeah. I'll give you about an hour. And yeah, I'll save your number and get you those photos here shortly.
Yeah, thanks, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. I'll look forward to all the info online in the house.
Okay, sir. I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right. Natty C. Rate your call on a 1 to 10. You can't say 4.
Say 5.
Is that what you were going to say anyways? Or did I influence you?
No, I thought I was thinking 5, and then you said can't say 4, but I wasn't gonna say that anyways.
Oh, so I wasted my time.
No, it wasn't a waste. It was good to hear where your number was at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why 5?
Cause I got the info, like I didn't like say anything like completely wrong. It was just kind of like there's a lot of like rapport building that could have been more organic, that she was kind of begging for someone to like show around with her. And I was like a robot. And then when I got the info and then like a little bit out of order, I asked for like how much is on the mortgage, like very towards the very end. And then she was kind of steering it like, hey, I'll send you photos. And I'm like, well, cool. So I don't think I did like anything that I would have like, obviously I didn't end the call and destroy the rapport is, somewhat of a pleasant call, but it could have been like, we could have been best friends if I played it right, if my name was Daniel Jim.
If only. Jokes aside, walk me through the struggle with making it more conversational than interrogational.
Yeah, she seems like a fun lady. I just don't know, like, I like second guess everything I'm about to say. So I don't know, like someone says something and I think of like 5 different responses. And like 3 of them might be like inappropriate, but I have to like spend extra computing time like thinking about make sure I don't say anything like completely stupid.
Have you considered removing impulse control and just saying whatever comes to mind and YOLO it, see what happens?
I think that would be better. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to be calculated because it's not only just the conversation where I'm trying to get along with the person, but I'm also like, I do have a checklist of things I need to ask. Because I come back and be like, hey, this lady wants to sell her home and I have no additional info. Like, there's like a mental checklist of things I need to get through. So there's a lot of like ahs,
Yeah.
You know,
So the goal ultimately, right, is to accomplish your checklist without making it feel like a checklist. Now, how do you do that? Well, you do that with really good conversation skills, which obviously you're saying that you struggle with because you get in your head, then you overthink it. This is a real thing, bro. Like, this is not something that's uncommon. So kudos to you for being willing to venture down that journey to figure out what that sounds like, because I will tell you it is a journey. Why? Because what that path turns out to be for you is going to be different than it is for anybody else, because you're your own person. You're on your own journey. You're not Randy. You're not Giovanna. You're not Jack. You're not Al. You're not me. Nor are we one another. So that being said, what do you do? Well, unfortunately, bro, I wish there was a way for me to just say, well, you say these 3 things, and then all of a sudden, boom, now you're a gigantic socially. We can go into methodologies that you can use to improve that. What I would say, though, bro, is there may be value in you opening up yourself to the idea of, let me just remove the filter for a while. Let me just say what comes to mind. Do you know why I suggest that? I'm curious to know if you know why I suggest that, because that sounds like a pretty crazy idea, but I'm suggesting it for a reason.
right? Because I'm all the way on the other side of the spectrum, so I can afford to, you know, go to the side that I haven't been, and like maybe go to the extreme over there before I can taper it down to somewhere in happy medium.
There's a lot of truth to that. But in this particular circumstance, here's the bigger motivation, in my opinion, because I think what you just said is very true. There's a lot of value in that. But I think for this situation is the majority of your struggle is in here, not in real life. But it is real life for you because this is where you live. So the act of overcoming this actually solves for a lot of problems. Okay, what do I mean? This is really important for anybody who struggles with getting in their head, because a lot of getting in our head exists because we can justify it. There's a very valid reason internally for us to do this. Oftentimes, what we think the reason is isn't the real reason. The only way you uncover the real reason is by just doing it, right? So when you go and you start actually just saying it out loud, you're actually unconsciously working through your stuff. Like, you're working through the nerves that stop you from saying it. What does that mean? Well, let's say for a person who their core reasoning for being awkward and in their head is because they're just insecure and they're scared they're going to say something that comes off wrong and it's going to have this catastrophic impact. Well, you do that 5, 10, 20 times and nothing catastrophic happens. For some people, that might be enough. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, nothing happened. I was like really scared of this boogeyman, and then I opened up the closet and there was no boogeyman. Now I can wear my jackets again because they were in the closet and I've been scared of them and I've been cold, right? Oftentimes, sometimes it's just the act of doing that. For some, it may not be. Sometimes saying it out loud, you realize, wait, holy crap. When I say that out loud, it feels different than I thought it was going to feel. And now I'm feeling something different. Now I realize there's a whole other issue I got to deal with. So it uncovers where the real monster is located. You thought it was in the closet. Actually, it's under the bed. So now you need to know, I don't need to worry about the closet anymore. I can go under the bed. The act of working through our stuff out loud, even if we don't have a plan to work through it successfully, sometimes can be enough to start the healing process or the growing process. We just got to say it out loud. How many of us have experienced this? I would argue that many of us have experienced a gigantic problem in our life that was only gigantic up here. And if you ever challenge yourself to just say the problem out loud or confront the problem head on, you start to realize it's not as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. So I would challenge you to do that, bro. There are other mechanisms and tools that we could go into as to how to go through this stuff. But my biggest challenge for you, Nathan, honestly, bro, I would challenge you to a 30-day challenge, a 14-day challenge, whatever you think you can commit to and actually do, where you hold yourself religiously accountable to no exception. Say what's on your mind. That's it. If you think it and then you find yourself second guessing, nope, and then you just say it out loud. Here's you're gonna sound like a weirdo because you're gonna be like, yeah, so and then you just come and blurt something out that seems random. Do it anyways, because you need to develop that muscle in your brain. Do it in your house. Do it when you're talking to people around you. Do it when you're at the grocery store. right? I would genuinely challenge you to do that because I think that exercise in and of itself is going to make a huge difference. Socially awkward. Go ahead.
What if I can't like legitimately think of anything to like relate to the person?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Your goal isn't to successfully relate. Your goal is to successfully communicate, whether effectively or otherwise. Say something.
Okay.
And if you can't come up with, let's just say if you go ahead.
I'm worried sometimes like I'm just taking a really long time to like actually think of something.
So
like,
come up with a safe line, right? Sorry, brain fart. Something. Write down funny ones. Right? Sorry, my stomach just growled. Did you hear that? Like random stuff, dude. Write 5 weird things down that if you can't think of anything else to say, you just say those lines. Why? You're developing the muscle memory of externalizing and not internalizing. That's what you need to redevelop. Externalize, not internalize. You got to get it out. You got to work on processing it out. So I would challenge you in these circumstances, come up with something, make a list of 5 things, random things, memorize those things. So that way, when you're sitting there and you're in the moment and 3 seconds have gone by and you don't know what to say and it feels like an eternity, but really it's just 3 seconds, just be like, I'm so sorry, brain fart. Right? I'm so sorry. I haven't eaten, my stomach growled. Did you hear that? Right? I don't really care what it is. Like something. And then what you'll find yourself doing is feeling a liberty around speaking or externalizing that awkward moment. And then I think there will be a liberty associated with that. And I think the process of doing that will unlock and uncover things in your head to start to pinpoint where does this actually come from and what are some mechanisms I could use to work that out. I would challenge it. You think you'll do it?
Yeah.
Because when I listen to this call, bro, this is a great seller. Whether she'll agree to our number or not is a different conversation. But this is a great lady to work with. She's easy to work with. She's going to be more or less reasonable. She may or may not agree with you. I think if you can present it to her in a coherent enough fashion, she probably will agree with you. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's going to accept the offer. She'll just agree that she can't sell it for that much. Or if she really wants to get on the road enough and her daughter can find another situation, then they can be like, look, you're not getting what you want, but at least you're able to go somewhere where you can afford it. It's better than losing it. I could see this lady. She was a paralegal. She's not dumb. She understands nuance. You think you're going to tell a paralegal of how real estate transactions work and she's going to get lost by that concept? She's probably understood far more complicated concepts throughout her career. So I think if you can present this to her rationally and sound like you're a coherent, fair guy that can do it, then you're going to come across. You guys were vibrating at 2 different frequencies. You got to get comfortable getting out of your frequency and learning how to vibe at theirs. But that's probably going to start with getting out of your head. ¿Me entiendes?
Sí.
Anybody else have any thoughts on that? Comments, complaints, confusion?
But Nathan, I kind of done a similar thing. What Daniel was suggesting to you. In my case, it was I have a thought, and then I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. And I go to another thought. I just go with the first thought, even if it sounds kind of weird. And because I've taken the mentality of I don't enjoy cold calling, but if I can make it fun, and even if it's a little weird, it's less horrible. I have to cold call people. So I'm not worried about closing the individual deal. I'm just worried about improving so that I am getting closer to closing that deal. So yeah, I just blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. I'm even doing it in these Zooms sometimes. You know, my feedback, I've been very honest with my feedback with people. I don't try to Paula Abdul it anymore and make it sound nicer.
I need you to walk me through the correlation.
Paula Abdul was the American Idol judge. That was the nice one.
She sugarcoats it, right?
Oh, I thought you were using a Paula Abdul song reference.
No.
She's like, I'm not trying to be, who's bad?
No.
Okay.
I really want to dance with cats.
Cartoon cats on the top of buildings, as you should.
Yes.
As you should.
No, it's like I'm not trying to sugarcoat it because that doesn't benefit anybody.
Bars. Sugar ain't good for nobody. Vax.
Yeah,
You're a keto communicator. Sugar free.
I'm guessing it's someone.
There you go.
I was gonna say something too, Nathan. Like, even outside of your personal growth that you have to, work on. Like, if you ask me, hey Al, this is your lead, like, how do I help you most? What DQ just said helps me the most. Not in 2 months from now when you're better, like today. I don't care how, like, what their, if her doors need replaced. It's much more beneficial to me if I know what's going on with her, and if you're friends with her. If you did these two things, I mean, it's an easy layup for somebody to close. Or, also do yourself a close. But like, if you just focus on these stuff, it's a lot like I have something to work with.
Right. Yeah. I guess just small talk is hard. Like, I want to like debate, like, like politics and religion or something. Just like talking about small things. It's like a vacuum in my brain. It's like like figure out what
So
people are
say,
saying.
what has you interested in selling? Also, who did you vote for?
Nathan.
Nathan,
Nathan, I was homeschooled, so we can battle who is the most socially awkward. I will probably win.
I don't know.
So,
I love it.
That'll be fine. I'll like that battle.
just a battle for most awkward. I don't think anybody wins that.
Okay, you're not awkward.
How many homeschoolers have you hung out with?
Kate, fantastic feedback. Al also, right? Here's the problem. Our choice, this is what life tells us to do. Life tells us, here's your lot. Now you're stuck with it and live in the corner that you've been placed in. And that's silly. F that corner. You nobody need that corner. Go wherever we want, right? Get outside of the box that we were painted in. And if you don't like your box, paint a new one or just kick yours down and see what's on the outside. You would be surprised. Nathan, I'm going to tell you right now, bro, you could do whatever you want. Kate is, to her point, she's a living witness of this. I have had conversations with Kate, and I have seen Kate evolve past things and struggles and real situations that we all have that are awkward, but you choose, but I'm not going to do that anymore. That's just not who I want to be. I don't want that restriction in my life. It's not easy, but it's definitely not impossible. Would you agree, Kate?
Yeah, definitely.
So, Nathan, I'm going to tell you right now, bro, you can definitely work past this. Like, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but I'm going to say it anyways for the sake of putting it out there. You can choose to be whoever you want, bro. This does not have to be your portion. This does not have to be your lot in life. You can choose a new lot. You can create whoever you want to be as the version of Nathan that the world gets to accomplish or it gets to encounter. You just got to make the choice and push through the crap. Cool thing is you're not alone. Got a bunch of people here who are going to help you push through it and give you perspective and give you context and, push you through the weird places where you're like, nah, I can't do this. I want to give up. You ain't alone, bro. Like, people got your back. However, we can't do it for you. So that's why I throw out challenges like this simply to give you something actionable that pushes you forward towards your goals. So what do you think, bro? You going to do something? You going to try it?
Yeah. Can you repeat again? Do you want me to just say put at random things all the time, or just put it comes to my inner? I know to make the my five fallback.
Yeah, I would say step one, just say what comes to mind, period. Step two, Kate's advice is fantastic, right? If you're stuck between things, just say the first one that came to mind. Even if it seems stupid, who cares, right? Just say something. And if you just went blank and you got nothing, that's where your backup list of random things to say exists so that you develop the habit, the muscle memory of saying something. So I would say that let that be your go-to. Whatever you come up with, whatever you were going to say first, and then if all else fails, have a go-to list of things that you don't have to think about.
Okay.
Right? And I would love if you're just like, banana bread. Anyways, so, right, if you randomly blurt out banana bread for no reason in all of your conversations, I'm going to laugh my butt off. And it's going to be awesome. Just don't get stuck because I don't want you out here sounding like you got Tourette's or something, right? Respectfully to anybody who has Tourette's. I just I don't want you to just randomly blurt out words for no reason whatsoever. That's not the goal. But getting your brain outside of quiet, externalize, bro. Get it out. Let it out. It's like a fart. Let it out. You can't keep it in. That's how farts are supposed to work, right? You're supposed to let those out. Jack says yes. Kay says no. I feel like Kate, are you in one of those? Nah, you in a house full of dudes.
Yes, which is why I've had multiple teacher meetings.
Or you can let some out and then blame it on the kids.
Yeah. So trying to get them the nuance between body shaming and go in the hallway if you have to fart. Yeah.
So what do you do? Hey, teacher, I got a fart. Can I go outside? Is that
It became just go in the hallway because he was telling her it's a natural bodily function. I don't know why you're upset. So, anyways, so now he doesn't need permission anymore. Now he's in like a portable building this year, so I don't know how much he's gonna be going outside in the winter. That's her problem. It's the same teacher from last year. She moved up a grade. So
congratulations.
Sorry.
She gets all the all the gas. So the moral of your takeaway, Nathan, is just fart in front of sellers more frequently and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna ask her if she bowls.
There you go. Fantastic. You'll work through it, dude. Here's the thing. Let me tell you something right now. This is gonna feel weird for a while. But here's the cool thing. You're already used to feeling weird. Don't think that the sign of success is the removal of the feeling of weird. That's not the sign of success. The removal of the feeling may happen well after you've succeeded at this. This is why feelings cannot be your mile marker. Feelings cannot be your guide, bro. You got to push past all of this stuff. And you're going to have to just, I feel miserable about this thing, but I'm going to do it anyways. And then all of a sudden the feeling will end. So feeling will not be the gauge. Consistency will be the gauge, right? And then we'll hear it here and we'll give you guidance. But I'm actually really, really excited about this journey for you, bro. Seriously.
Well, thank you.
Awesome. All right. This was a fun week. I'm excited. Had some new family in here, breaking down some stuff. I'm excited about this challenge. Yvonne is upstairs right now, putting together the themes for the email announcements and all the announcements that are going out about the big challenge as we open it up to YouTube, at least for everybody else. Everybody who's watching on YouTube, shout out. Hope you guys got a little value, learned something, had a good time. I'm really, really excited about this. I think we're going to make it like a holiday themed challenge, right? I don't know, the Santa sales challenge. I have no idea. But I'm excited about that. New CRM launch should be live soon. And we'll be getting everybody in there. Really excited about that too. Just a lot of really, really cool stuff. I just want to close a bunch of deals. Rodolfo locked up $300,000 worth of deals officially, and it's done today. So he's about to get a big check and then send all of us money because sharing is caring. And he's not the only one. Nathan,
Steve worked out that deal last night.
He did. The one that I called.
Yeah.
Yeah, he texted me. That's fire. Super fire.
Damn, Steve-O, good job, man.
Bro, I'm the one that talked to him last, which means I closed it. I did all of the work. Steve was just there.
Oh, snap.
You just beat the poor guy up.
Bro, Rodolfo, did you hear this situation, bro? What they did to me, dude?
No.
Nah, bro. I almost disowned Steve. I didn't even know what to say to this. Tell me why. Steve, I know you're going to give a bad rendition of this, but tell Rodolfo what happened, bro. If you don't tell the truth, I'm going to tell him.
We had him at 205. I got him from 220 to 205. And I tried to low anchor him at 190 to see where he would go. If he had any wiggle room, didn't budge, basically said 205 is his bottom. And I said, well, let me hang tight. Let me see if we can make it work. I was just gonna basically go back and pick back up and do it. I mean, I figured 205, I think was working. So, but he ended up hanging up. So we chatted about it, and he's like, DQ's like, you didn't negotiate him at all? Well, what happened? I was like, well, I think 205 is good. And he's like, let me call the dude. So I let him call. I did forego the fact that the guy is basically dying and is trying to basically, get his affairs in order.
So I'm over here hard negotiating a dude for
the advantage of the dime, man.
apparently, unbeknownst to me, I'm over here hard negotiating with a dude that's like, he in the conversation, he's like, oh, I'm like, well, what happens if you can't get this number, bro? He's like, I'm gonna die in the house. I'm like, well, damn, bro, why you had to make it so dark? He's like, no, seriously. I'm like, bro, like, what? I was like, bro, Steve, why you leave me out here like that, man? So yeah, I would have never made that phone call if I knew that was what was going on.
He's gonna come and pull your leg after life.
I hope not. I hope he gets a miraculous healing now for his troubles. So if he goes to anybody, it needs to be Steve for his not communicating. Anyway, so that's locked up. You're gonna close that. Congratulations to all parties involved.
Thank you. Yep, fix her tomorrow.
I like that.
And then I got our walkthrough, that deal that we talked about, Rodolfo, in Tallahassee. They're doing the showing setup with the tenant tomorrow. Get some people through there. Unfortunately, I think I only have like 2 buyers going through out of the 20 or so that I sent it to.
Are you making more of your sexy flyers?
Bro, what did you have? Did you have DQ put it on investor list?
No, that's what we talked about. We talked about it yesterday. I don't know. Did you DQ? I thought you were going to.
No, we're actually putting the listing together. I was going to ask you about picks for that one too.
You're going to ask what?
About picks.
Oh, they're on that flyer. If you click on that flyer.
But there's like 4 pictures.
Yeah, if you click any of the pictures on the flyer, it'll take you to the full gallery.
Ah, interesting.
I told you it was bougie, bro. The map is interactive. The pictures are interactive.
Not all flyers are created equal. I stand corrected.
Right. Yeah. Now you know.
If I print it out, will it still expand?
What's that? Oh, what the link?
The pictures. Like if I print it out and I'm holding the picture and I push the picture, does it expand into it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Come on, bro.
My bad.
You think my half-ass this shit?
I'm protected.
So all right. So what I think, obviously it was kind of short notice anyway. So what I'm thinking is we'll do the showings tomorrow. Obviously we don't have that many people going, but then I'll just see what happens. And then obviously if it doesn't end up working out, we don't get anything off of that. If you want, we can go ahead and whenever you think we should blast it once we kind of know. I don't know if it's good to do it over the weekend, but maybe we do it on Monday. We can blast it out and I can maybe set up another day with the seller or with the tenant.
Yeah, honestly, Monday's way better day to blast than Thursdays or Fridays anyways. Anything past Wednesdays just kind of it'll still hit, but it's just not as good. So yeah, let's see how it goes. That'll be good.
Yeah. All right. That's good.
Fuego.
Wait, did you ever actually close a deal in the community? I know we locked up deals, though. Did anything get closed?
Here?
Shot fired.
No, I don't close. No, bro, ever.
Yo, is this the guy that holds the password to your investor list?
Here, fuck yeah. No. Here's what I ask. Because if not, then tomorrow's an exciting day, bro. Because you're gonna close your first.
No, we have. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to break your heart. You are not my first, Al. I apologize, bro. Is what I will tell you that you're my first if it makes you feel better, especially after what happened with the bowling alley incident.
Okay. What? Which one did you close then?
Which what? I don't know. There's been more than one, dude. What are you talking about?
Really?
Yeah.
So why haven't we ever talked about them?
I don't know because I don't share all of my. I apologize. I got to do better at sharing all of my personal business with you.
In the community, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yes, bro. We got to. This is why we need the HUDs. We need a HUD email because there's probably been through this community. I don't even know how many deals. and we don't have the HUD yet. This is why I don't want to talk about it. I want to have a tracker, like an actual HUD tracker. Now, I just found out that I might not be able to share that live. I was going to share that like on the school community, so that way it could be out there and people could click through that. But apparently that may not be legal. I got to talk to an attorney to find out if that's legal or not. But even if we can't do that, I'd like to have something internal to the community and just kind of like, we'll have to like label it out like results are not typical or whatever you have to say for, I don't know, like legality purposes. But I think it would be really cool, right? Rodolfo, you gonna send me the HUDs for these deals, bro? Once you close them?
What?
You gonna send the HUDs?
Yeah, I mean, I have the HUD from the one that I closed on like a month ago. And I have these two, and yeah, I can send those.
Okay. That's dope. Super excited about that. Super excited about that. Yeah, so we'll get that going. Steve's got that one going. Let me know how your walkthrough tomorrow goes, bro. So that way we know if we need to even do anything with it. Because if you're good, if you find a buyer, then you're good, right? You don't need anything.
All right. Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
Okay. Gianmarco, what are you doing, dude? Why you gotta be so extra Italian in all of the things that you do, bro? He's just delicately grating cheese.
I got a nice call. We got to review it when you have a minute.
What are you doing? You're not like you talking about a seller call. I'm talking about you randomly grating cheese on Zoom, bro.
I can remove the channel. I was listening. It's dinner time here. What do you want me to do?
He's not stopping.
Yo, you my God been grating cheese for 45 minutes, bro. Look at the
I'm so jealous of you, John.
It's good Parmesan. I bought it today, so it's nice.
Wait, what is it called?
Say Parmesan again. Say
Every time I bought that, it's always gone moldy. He's used half of it in one sitting.
Wait, what kind of cheese is it, Gianmarco?
That's how it's here. That it's written here, right? That's the original. The mark.
It comes out of the cow with Parmesan written on it.
No, but they have a bank that runs some Parmigiano collateral in Bologna, Italy. That's crazy. It's just how valuable this is. A form of this is $2,000.
I just don't understand why Gianmarco's so freaking Italian, bro. Like, why you gotta be so Italian?
I have to use cheese as collateral in a real estate deal now.
100%.
That's no goal.
Instead of EMD, just put a wheel of cheese.
That's it. If anybody can use cheese as a collateral, it'll definitely be Gianmarco. But like, yo, no, but listen. Look, let me tell you. Where I'm from, a cheese is a commodity.
You gotta see the documentary. It's insane. I didn't even know it. Wait now to
Wait, tell us the plate, bro. What's the plate? You put 8 gallons of cheese on there, which I respect. What are you actually eating? What else? What are you eating with your cheese?
So it's a cashew and pepe, right? The pepper and cheese and the sauce on a pumpkin pasta. On top of it, because extra cheese is always good.
Why did you take the time to say it so slowly, bro? Because you knew I was gonna make fun of you. Just say it the way you would say it, bro. So go ahead, say it with your chest. It's a cacio e pepe. Cacio e pepe.
It's a great pasta, man. You should try it. I mean, I guess you try it.
I don't know what you just said means. That like I just need you to know that.
It's cheese. It's pepper, right? Like,
I've been to the Olive Garden, so I'm sure I've had it. It's the same thing, right?
Look at this.
That's the tour of Italy.
Most likely, yeah, most likely.
Did you see the pain on Gianmarco's face when you said that, Kate? The physical pain on his face?
It's my kid's favorite restaurant because you can get grapes as a side.
Grapefruit?
Grapes as a side. So for years, it was their birthday choice.
Hey, I mean, grapes are great, so that's good. That's
what you need to do if you want to make Olive Garden more Italian, you just say buongiorno to all of the servers, right? And then after they read you your order back, you just say correcto. You say those two. Look at Jamarco's face. It's his face for me. Look at the physical pain on his face. Jamarco's my favorite, man. Buongiorno, Jamarco.
That's good. That's good. That's the pronunciation. The tonality is good. The tonality is good.
I appreciate you, dog. I hope you enjoy your cacio and your pepe.
There you go. That's good.
Okay. Jack, what's up, dog?
You know, normally I'm the one who's the Italian who gets made fun of. It's kind of fun seeing it not on me.
Yeah. Well, because he's eating from a plate. Even though I did see you eating from a bowl today, even though I'm pretty sure that was a takeout bowl, so it doesn't count.
Bowl's a bowl, man. Don't discriminate.
Nah, the bowl gotta originate from your household, Jack. That's my point. You don't have bowls in your household. Somebody else had to provide the bowl in order for you to not eat from your hands.
Man, you got too many rules with this.
It's one rule. It's one rule. Use plateware for your food, bro. Stop eating out your hands.
Well, God gave me hands.
That's true. That's fair. Who am I to argue with God? He did not. You were not born with plates. So what happened? What's up, bro?
I almost forgot. Oh, the Clover's Octagon. I remember you saying that you had that challenge was going to lead into it, but I haven't heard anything from it or about it since then.
What was your score in the competition?
Not very high, like 47
out of 90.
Yeah, that's the table, yeah.
And you're asking me if you can compete with more people?
No, I didn't. I just wanted to follow along at least.
Okay. No, that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate the boldness. So you don't want to compete. You just want to watch other people compete.
No, I want to compete, but you made it sound like it's already like done.
Like what part?
Bro, what?
I'm just wondering what
is it still happening?
Nah, oddly enough, you're the second person to ask me about that this week. I don't know. Okay. The plan of that was I'm kind of sowing seeds towards it. I want to bring it back. The only issue with that is, one, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Whatever work you think it is, it's more than that. I promise. Issue number two is in the order of importance of things that need to get done. That's not on the top of the list, right? It's up there. I would say it's like a top 5, top 10 of things that I want to do. But yes, it is still in the works. I don't have a specific date about that. For me, my focus has really been personally with you guys, and I've shared this in the community, is just try to make up for lost time from this year with all the health crap I've been dealing with now that I'm feeling somewhat normal. And that's where this kind of Christmas challenge has been more where we're going to just be building and trying to lock up as many deals as possible by the end of the year, right? And we're going to start stacking HUDs because I really, really want people to know what's possible, right? It's one thing to say somebody made a bunch of money, but when you listen to them tell the story themselves, like Rodolfo did earlier, how he went from, where he was, now he's closing just in 1 week, $300,000 in deals. Like, this is good. And I want all of our stories, because we all have them, right, to be represented here. So that's my focus for the end of the year. As of right now, that's why I'm launching, right? We launched the school. So for people who need to just, even if they're on a budget, they want to get into to the smaller community, at least be involved in some way. And even if they can't, at least I got YouTube, right? So people can be involved in that. So let's try to get some deals together for the end of the year. Going into next year, it's how do we expand that and grow that to impact more people, help take all of the deals that we do in the community, use it as momentum to start the year strong, bring back a lot more of the heavier training stuff and kind of put more of that stuff out. And then I think that is a great way to roll into something like a competition to really equip people for that. So I have a order of operations in my head, but life also happens, business also happens. And so you got to leave space for that. But I am excited about that, bro. I think it'll be a cool thing to bring back. And I better, bro, let me see you not try to compete.
Bro, watch me not try to compete.
You're Greek, dude. Greek people compete. They're competitors.
Greek, bro? Jesus.
I know how to make Jack angry. That's the best part. He's not as Italian as Jamarco, obviously, because I've never seen him put that much cheese on anything. But he's a close second. That being said, I'm really, really excited for all this. Anybody else? Mitch, this y'all's first week in here, bro. How you feeling, dog? You happy you made the call? Are you feeling like you're on a good path? What do you talk to me, though?
Yeah, it's gonna take some definitely big adjustment period, but she like just losing my train of thought. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a lot of work to try to flip our process on its head. But I definitely think it's gonna be worth it because what we're doing right now is just not working, and it's wasting a lot of time on the calls.
Love that. It's gonna be fun to see, man. Was that a mini Mitch that I saw for a second in the camera there?
Yeah. She's earlier. She's my 2-month-old.
Congratulations. Is that your first?
Yeah.
Look at you. So you got to build. You got lots of wives to build the empire for.
Yeah.
I love that, man. That's awesome. Well, we're happy to have you, bro. I'm excited to kind of see what things look like. Ed, what about you, Doug?
Yeah, man. I really appreciate the feedback, man. I think that's what I've been needing. Looking forward to getting more of that, man, because I'm definitely wanting to get better, get to the next level. I think we've been at the same level for too long that it's like it's time, it's time.
Love that.
Time to level up, man.
Love that, man. Excited to be a part of that journey, and see really dope things happen. I'm excited, y'all. Kate, did you sign your contract tonight? When are you signing your contract?
She said probably around 6:30 my time to be available. So another hour.
Let's go. I need you to make a post like in the school community when you sign it, so that everybody can know that you're a G if they did not know already.
Yes, if I don't make a post tonight, I'll definitely make it tomorrow morning.
Let's go. Luke, you gonna stop being weird and like start coming to the Zooms again, or like do you prefer the weirdness? It's up to you.
You laughing at me? Yeah. See, you call me out for my wife. Now she's laughing at me. I'm locked in.
I like it. Good to have you back, man.
I like what you said to Nathan. I like what you said to Nathan about just kind of externalizing instead of internalizing. So that's probably gonna be my game plan too as I'm prospecting.
I love that, dude. I'm excited. I know we're gonna chat here in a little bit, but I'm excited to kind of see what you're doing and get you plugged into all of this stuff and kind of see where you're at and see if we can't get you on this push, man. Lock up as many deals as possible.
Let's get it.
All right. Guys, everybody on YouTube, you guys are dope. Appreciate you guys hanging out, having a good time. If you guys don't know, long story short, we're getting ready to start like a really, really cool challenge for the rest of the year. And what's the challenge? It's this really fancy thing. We're just going to be working together and doing our best to all close as many deals together as possible. If you guys are in one of my communities on YouTube, I have a couple of different ones. I have a very inexpensive one. I have a more expensive one. If you're in a position where you want to connect with people, you're welcome to do that. If you're not, don't come and watch it on YouTube, right? We'll be going live on YouTube every single day. Who am I doing deals with? I'm doing deals with the people in the Zoom, right? I'm coming and I'm working with the community. They're doing deals with each other. They're doing deals on their own. We're connecting. It's a big family, and we're just trying to do what everybody wants to do. And instead of hoping to get deals, we're planning to get deals, and we're going through the appropriate steps to actually make sure that's a thing. And what my goal is to accomplish for the rest of this year is to do my best to demonstrate what that looks like every single day. Guys, success in this business is not the cool YouTube videos that show you the wins with the big checks at the end. That's not success in the real estate. That's a snapshot of success in real estate. Behind that scene, anybody who posts those videos will tell you, and if you read the watch their videos, they probably have told you that there's a lot of really nitty-gritty work that goes into this. And that's where a lot of people get lost. That's where a lot of you guys have gotten lost and gotten stuck and gotten discouraged and wonder if you can continue. That's what I want to highlight during this challenge. Just show you guys the ugly parts, show you the unpretty parts. I'm going to be building a direct-to-agent business from scratch. I've never done that before. I'm doing it in front of a bunch of people. I'm doing something I've never done before in front of a bunch of other people. And that means I could possibly not succeed. But I don't care. because that's life. And if you're not willing to demonstrate the journey for people, how are you really going to help them? And I want to help people. I'm here to help people. So it's going to be fun to do that. But I'm also going to be going through and we're going to be doing direct to seller stuff. I'm going to be bringing all kinds of cool things. We're going to be building JV businesses, showing you how to JV. So if you want to succeed in this business and you want to go through the journey with other people who are doing it and you want to give yourself goals to knock some deals down before the end of the year, I really, really hope I see you guys here on the YouTube because it's going to be fun. We're going to be doing this every single day, at least Monday through Thursday, I think. We'll see how it plays out. But when you see that live notification, you know we're here. That being said, you got to subscribe and turn the notifications on to do that. If you haven't done that, I don't even know what your problem is. What are you doing? Do it, please. Thanks. I love you. Al said he will like me better if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And everybody wants Al to like them because he's a very important person in Colombia. That's what he wants everybody to believe in his dating life. Anyways, love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Go do something special this weekend. Rest of the year is going to be dope. One more full week before Thanksgiving. We got to put that turkey money together. So yeah, y'all have a good one. Have a great weekend. See y'all next week. Love y'all. Peace.